Billy nodded with a laugh. She is just a weakling anyway. They had no idea Chu Josi had been at the door for a while, hands in pockets, listening. As soon as Billy finished, Chu Josi turned and walked in with his bag. All three of them jumped, staring at the door in surprise. Billy raised an eyebrow and barked, asking who let him in. Chu Josi stared them down. So you guys hurt Karina? She told me she just fell downstairs. Vivian glanced over and asked if he was Karina's brother. So what? Mina sneered. You here for some kind of revenge? Bad timing, buddy. Billy cracked his knuckles. You are that janitor Chu Josi, right? He crossed his arms over his chest and laughed. You are a junior and never heard of the great Billy? Mina was just messing with your sister. Chu Josi spoke with total calm. Messing around? By pushing an injured girl down the stairs? Billy walked up and pointed in his face. Hey janitor, you got a problem with that? Want an apology? Mina chimed in from the desk, saying they should teach him a lesson. Billy growled, asking why a floor sweeper was wasting their time. Before he could even react, Chu Josi grabbed his hand and twisted it backward. Billy stared at his twisted fingers and screamed in agony. My hand, you are dead. Mina and Vivian watched in total shock, eyes wide with disbelief. Chu Josi stepped back, calmly closed the classroom door, and issued a warning. Not just you, nobody in here is walking away from this. Chu Yosi's eyes flashed red as he activated his level 6 hero mode. Warrior class engaged, equipped with dark armor and the black ice sword. Using Sky Thunder and World Shaker, combat power reached 8,800. Chu Josi used Divine Eye on the three. Results: no class, no resistance, no threat. Mina started shaking and stuttered out, asking what he planned to do. Chu Josi set his bag down. I thought you were some hero with that big mouth, but you are just a bully looking for trouble. Billy clutched his hand, sweating from fear and rage. My hand, you know who my dad is? Mina knelt down, frantically asking if he was okay. Vivian tried to stay calm and asked if he really was Karina's brother. You have got guts coming here all by yourself. She frowned at him. We are not heroes, but we are not exactly easy targets for anyone to just mess with either. Before she finished, Chu Josi struck her, sending her flying. Her lollipop shattered. Chu Josi asked coldly if she really thought he would not hit her. Mina panicked watching that. Billy bit his lip and shook, realizing he was way too fast. Even the star athletes could not move like that. What the hell is happening? Mina screamed out. Vivian! Billy's face went pale, but he still tried to shout for her. Chu Josi closed in, forcing Mina back. He told her he did not care that they were girls. Before Billy could threaten him again, Chu Josi dropped him. Chu Josi said coldly that he would deal with his father next. Mina saw her boyfriend pass out and let out a terrified scream. Billy! Before she could say more, Chu Josi grabbed her by the collar. He lifted her off the ground, making her gasp for air. Chu Josi pinned her against the corner wall near the window. Mina trembled, clutching his arm, begging him to stop and let her go. Chu Josi put a finger to his lips, signaling silence. From what I heard, you are the one who masterminded the bullying against Karina. His eyes burned with rage. Listen close. I am her brother, and I am never going to forgive what you did to her. He tightened his grip, making it harder for her to breathe. Chu growled every word with pure, unadulterated fury. Stay away from Karina. I do not want an apology. Just stay gone. Mina stared with wide, terrified eyes as Chu gave one final warning. If you do it again, I will not be so gentle. Remember that. Mina managed a weak nod. Hearing that, Chu Josi let go with one word. Good. Leaving Mina gasping on the floor, Chu Josi turned his cold gaze toward Billy. You are that girl's boyfriend, aren't you? Bending down to pick up a ruler from the floor, Chu Josi asked if he still planned on messing with Karina again. He gripped the ruler tight and stepped toward Billy. A little thing like this is more than enough to handle a nuisance like you. Billy sat slumped on the floor, trembling and begging for him to wait. Chu Josi raised the ruler, looking down with icy eyes. Just thinking about the garbage you spew makes me sick. If you were actually a hero, I wouldn't have let you off so easy. Billy clutched his swollen red face and screamed. Do you have any idea who the hell I am? I am the son of the Blue Snake leader. My dad is a human rank hero. Chu Josi paused midair, frowning as he processed the threat. Blue Snake? You mean those predatory cutthroat loan sharks? Josi suddenly remembered the 3 punks he beat up at the hospital. Were they the ones shaking down Karina for medical bills? They acted the exact same way. Chu Josi gave Billy a cold, mocking stare. Funny how I keep running into the exact same lowlifes I hate the most. So you're Blue Snake? While speaking, Chu Josi gathered sparks of crackling electricity in his palm. Billy panicked at the sight of the lightning. Is that a skill? Are you a hero? Chu Josi didn't even bother to answer. He slammed his ruler weapon against Billy's body. The kid started twitching as the system suddenly flashed a warning. Warning, Using an incompatible weapon reduces damage by 90% and prevents reaching maximum potential. Josi turned to leave, tossing the ruler aside. That pain should help you remember. He grabbed his school bag and threw it over his shoulder. Before walking out, he added one last thing. This is your first and final chance to keep your word. Leaving the three of them on the floor, he smirked. Sorry, you guys are going to have to clean this classroom yourselves. Billy was still smoking from the shock. He gasped for air and asked if he was gone. Mina rushed over to help him. Are you okay? We should go to the hospital. Billy opened his eyes and muttered, No need, I just didn't know he was a hero. Mina touched her bruised neck and trembled. What are you going to do now? This isn't over. Look at my neck. He needs to pay for this. You have to tell your father. Billy's eyes went red as he grabbed her. Don't tell me what to do. He's dead meat. I'm going to make sure my father handles this personally. Billy yanked his collar. Mina whispered in fear. Right. Tell your dad about that jerk who started this. Billy turned away, boiling with rage. I'll ask Dad to make him and his sister disappear from this world forever. Outside, Karina was waiting patiently on the bench. She stared at the sky, praying her big brother was doing okay. She felt guilty. If only she could handle things herself, she wouldn't be a burden. He already had enough stress from his new hero status. Suddenly, a voice startled her. Karina, look up. Chu Josi was finally back. He sat down with a smile. Sorry for the wait. Let's head home. Want a piggyback ride? I'll carry your bag then. As they walked, Josie thought about the Blue Snake leader, a level 10 hero and Billy's father. Billy will definitely snitch. They have the numbers, and Karina could be in danger. I must stay alert. Walking through the neighborhood, Josie realized it was finally time to return to that other world. Karina, I won't let anyone touch you. Back in the other world, Josie reappeared with Sura to continue their training journey. Master, we have arrived at the city. Here is what you need to know about this place. Sura explained the local rules. Once inside the town, you can take official quests, but you must register at the Adventurers Guild first. There's a tavern and a parts shop here too. Chu Josi clapped his hands with excitement. Exactly what I wanted. I'm ready for real combat. This game is amazing. Let's go, I can't wait. Before them stood the massive beastman city of Not. System check. Level 6, warrior equipped with dark goblin gear and black ice blade. Thunder skills active. Strategy score 8,800. He entered. The bustling city left Josie speechless. This is incredible. There are so many different beastman tribes here. Sura giggled behind her hand. Many rare tribes gather here, each with unique traits. Josie looked around curiously. He put his hands on his hips and spotted two figures. Wait, are those humans? Real human adventurers in this place? Sura followed his gaze with total interest. Do they look like the people from your world, Master? She explained that major city guilds attract many races, but there are laws against dangerous fighting outside of the designated battle arenas. Since this is a beastman city, seeing them is perfectly normal. Sura looked around at the crowd and added a few more details. Noble beastmen and the elf tribe rarely show up here. Josie nodded. I see. How interesting. Meeting my own kind in this world feels like a real connection. Suddenly, Josie was gone. He ran toward the two humans and gave a friendly greeting. Sura tried to stop him, but it was too late. Master, you can't be so reckless. The two adventurers immediately drew their weapons. Who the hell are you? The girl in red warned him to stay back. Josie froze in surprise. Is there a law against saying hello? Set God jumps in between, hands up to settle the beef. The pair jumps in surprise, whispering about the vibe. They storm off annoyed, the girl in red cursing under her breath. Once the coast is clear, Chu, Josie, and Sala keep moving forward. Sala explains that adventurers here are cold and defensive, especially the humans who stay on high alert. Chu Josie rubs his head and sighs. Man, lots of rules here. The locals keep staring and whispering about them. Sala keeps her head down, avoiding the hostile glares following their every move. She whispers an apology, saying they hate her mixed blood. Let's just register. Chu Josie hopes for no drama. Chu Josie smiles and grabs Sora's hand. Haters are everywhere, don't sweat it. Let's go. Feeling brave, Sora squeezes his hand back. The streets around them look like something out of a storybook. They stop at the guild house. Chu Josie geeks out. Whoa, it's just like a game quest board. Tick reminds him he can't take jobs without registering first. They head inside to the front desk. We're here to sign up, Sora says. The receptionist puffs her pipe. A mixed human and beastman party, huh? Interesting. The cat girl, Miko, asks who is signing up. Chu Josie scratches his head. That would be me. She's way cooler than the jerk staring at them outside. Miko slides a form over. I've seen it all, so don't worry. Just write your name in class here. Your info shares across branches. Chu Josie asks nervously, so this makes it official, right? Sala taps his shoulder. Just fill it out, or you won't get your adventurer badge. A badge? Chu Josie is hyped. Miko holds one up. Yeah, it's your official ID. This is bottom tier. Rank up from iron to bronze, silver, then gold for better perks. Gold ranks are legends. They only work for the filthy rich. Chu Josi looks at his rank 6 badge. So this is the bottom? Nothing special at all. Miko explains it tracks levels automatically and can even hide them. Chu Josi sees his floating level and asks how. That's sick! How do I toggle that? Set stands nearby with his hands behind his back. He explains that it's all about linking your mind to the badge. Just focus and hide it. Chu Josi grabs the badge and closes his eyes to sync up. He thinks, just focus? With his divine system, this is basically a walk in the park. His level disappears instantly. Miko is stunned. Newbies never get it on the first try. Suddenly, 2 huge beastmen shove Chu Josi aside. Move it, loser, the leader barks, acting like he owns the place. The other guy slams a heavy bag onto the counter, announcing their quest is finished. The big one, Blom, leans on the desk and asks for any new commissions available. He leans in close to Miko, offering to buy her drinks later on his dime. She stays chill, puffing her pipe. I'm busy. She shows them an urgent high-level 15 quest instead. Both beastmen instantly look super awkward. They stutter, asking for a level 10 job instead. They're curious about the details, though. Miko explains that a pack of shadow creatures is terrorizing local farmers. A team of 3 got wrecked. 1 is still missing. That team was stronger than you. Blom sweats. 10 monsters in a pack? They'll need a level 20 pro. Suddenly, Chu Josi grabs the paper. My team will take this job, he says calmly. The beastmen spin around. 1 curses while Blom looks at Chu Josi like he's crazy. Blom reaches for his blade, but his buddy stops him. Fighting in the guild carries heavy penalties. He warns Chu Josi not to play hero if he actually values his life. They mock the rookie for hunting monsters on day 1. Chu Josi just tells them to get lost. Want to test me in the arena or what? He challenges them directly. He clenches his fist as his veins pop. The system activates his superhuman body mode. Chu Josi thought to himself that with his OP system, he could totally flex on a level 9 beastman in a real fight. Fab just glared at him like he was trash. He warned that an iron badge means 0 experience, and any client would probably just ghost him immediately. Mi stepped in to chill the vibe, praising Chu Josi's guts while admitting his low rank would likely get him rejected. He laughed in his face, telling the kid to stick to finding lost puppies. Suddenly, Sakura turned and snapped that their squad would take the job. The whole room went dead, silent. Lam noticed Sakura was a half-beast and doubted if a mixed blood could even handle a real quest. Sakura flashed her badge instantly, asking if this gold rank was enough proof for their pathetic faces. The 2 beastmen choked, staring at the legendary badge in total disbelief. Chu Josi was floored by Sakura's rank, thinking this cat girl was a total beast. Mi leaned over the counter and said Sakura should have flexed that from the start. She puffed her pipe and smiled, handing over the contract since the client would be hyped. The losers walked away. While Chu Josi talked trash as they retreated, Sakura smiled at Chu Josi, saying this quest would make him level up fast. He nodded, feeling hyped. Mi watched them, wondering why a gold-tier pro would call a little kid her master. Weird squad. She tracked them as they left. Sakura scanned the quest, guessing the monster farm was right nearby. On the road, Chu Josi was still shook by her gold badge. She blushed, explaining she had been grinding since childhood. She explained how she earned the gold rank, but worried if being that strong was weird. Chu Josi smiled, saying she totally earned it. She blushed hard and whispered a thanks. They both stopped dead. The village was ahead, buried under thick black smoke. This was it. Sakura sensed a heavy threat. The sky was turning dark and nasty. Low-level monsters were everywhere. Chu, Josi, and Sakura watched the total carnage from behind the iron gates. Sakura realized people inside were toast if those dark monsters kept attacking. Chu Josi nodded, looking at the horror. Huddled by the gate, Sakura explained these dark freaks corrupt everything, making creatures like goblins and slimes go berserk. Chu Josi realized they were fighting corrupted slimes. Only elemental attacks would actually do any damage. Lightning was the play. Chu Josi grinned at Sakura, knowing exactly what to do. He shifted into battle mode, sparks flying everywhere. He told Sakura to just sit back and watch. He figured this was the perfect time to upgrade. System online, level 6 warrior, fox armor equipped, black ice sword ready, combat power 8,800. Suddenly, Sakura grabbed Chu Josi's shirt from behind, stopping him cold. She warned him not to solo this mess. This place was way beyond the starter zone. Fighting one is fine, but a whole pack is suicide. She wanted to fight right beside her master. After hearing her out, Chu Josi patted her head, saying he got it. He needed to level up for whatever the world threw next. She saw him hesitate for a second. Sakura tilted her head, promising to answer anything. Chu remembered his 1-year deadline with the Beast King. He asked how insane the Beast King's power really was and what level he needed to survive. Sakura froze, not knowing how to break the news. She looked down, her voice getting heavy. Sakura admitted that at his current level, beating the king in 1 year was basically impossible. Chu was stunned. Just surviving for a single year would be a miracle. She started explaining the level system rules. Chu listened closely, needing the details. He realized both worlds were linked. The more he leveled here, the stronger his hero powers became back home. Sakura drops the news. Level 100 is the absolute ceiling for every adventurer. She adds the Beast King is level 92, hitting that rank through unmatched combat power. Sakura then mentions 3 kings, the beast, the human, and the demon. These 3 powerhouses represent the peak of their respective races. Chu Josi remembers their first meeting, thinking the Beast King didn't look scary enough to be a symbol of power. Sekula explains that power growth has its limits. Climbing higher gets incredibly brutal. After 20 years of adventuring, she is still stuck at level 72. She adds that while 72 is not low, it is clearly her own absolute final limit for this lifetime. To survive the Beast King's trial, Chu Josi needs to hit at least level 50. Skula says hitting that level in 1 year is impossible. Normal adventurers spend their entire lives just trying to reach a level like 50. Hearing this, Chu Josi stays quiet, then regains his composure. He smiles at Sakura, saying he totally gets why she is worried. Sula looks at him with teary eyes, vowing to stay by his side throughout next year, even if that promise to the king fails. Chu Josi tells her firmly, "You know I'm no average adventurer." He grips his ringed wrist, looking out into the distance as he continues to speak. "I walked away from a holy judgment," he says. "I've wielded the god hammer, so you have to know I'm not normal. Level 50 in 1 year is all I need, right? Even if others fail, I'll make it." With a confident look, Chu Josi thinks it's wild the ring brought him to this world and helped him rise after that holy judgment. With this miracle system, I'm definitely the chosen one. I'm not following some basic path or fate. With the system, nothing is impossible. Chakula blushes, whispering, "Master." She hesitates, then declares, "Yes, Master. You will definitely become a legend. I totally believe in you." After their talk, the two immediately dive into the assigned mission. Sigula gets ready. Chui grips his blade, electricity crackling around him. "Time to go. I still have a second question." Hearing him, Sakura replies in a flash, "Sorry for talking so much." Chu Josi pushes open the gate and asks seriously, "If I have to face a warrior and many minions, what level is the minimum?" Skura is caught off guard. She thinks saying level 12 is the bare minimum for an edge. Facing the dark monsters, Chu Josi says, "Level 12? Watch me hit that this week." System says he is level 6, a warrior with fox gear and a black ice sword, but still missing a primary skill. Heaven Shaker active, power 8800. Second Law nods, trusting him. Seeing the intruders, a dark monster roars for the pack. Chu Josi watches the beast with its terrifying toothy mouth. Staring down the giant beast, Chuyosi tells Sola, "Leave this to me." Sword raised, he pushes the system to the max. Determination triggers a notification. God Eye activated. It's a level 10 dark monster, a shadow beast. It is actually a slime with 1500 power. Lightning elemental, high recovery, and immune to all normal physical attacks. The system adds that the core is the main weakness. When the body breaks, the core glows to regenerate, revealing its position. Chu Josi grips his blade. Lightning and that core are the keys. A lightning strike to the core is his move. Chuosi charges straight at the monster, touching it while thinking he needs to find the core's location first. Ciola warns, "Careful, its touch will corrode you." Chu Josi shouts, "I found it!" He slashes down, fully trusting his superhuman body to take the hit. Activating superhuman mode, he dives from above, lunging while muttering that he just needs to get close enough. He strikes and looks. No core. Not in the chest? Chu Josi watches the beast instantly recover and shouts, "Man, your regeneration speed is absolutely insane. Health only dropped by 1/5. Suddenly, the beast lunges with its toothy mouth wide open, trying to swallow Chu Josi whole. The impact shatters the ground, sending rocks flying. Chu Josi blocks it just in time before those sharp teeth hit him. He laughs, "You want to eat me? Wrong guy." Chu Josi hits his superpowered mode, and his arm strength instantly skyrockets. He grabs the beast's jaws with raw power and snarls. "You're just a moth to a flame, buddy. I'm gonna rip your mouth wide open." Then, Chu Josi uses his insane strength to literally rip that monster's massive body in two. Sakura watches from the sidelines, totally stunned by his god-tier power. Just like he said, nothing is impossible for her master. The beast lets out a death rattle as its core starts glowing from deep inside its chest. Chu Josi grabs his sword off the ground and realizes the core was hidden right under its tongue. Sword in hand, he leaps with everything he's got, aiming for the core. He yells, "Feel the power of lightning." The blade pierces through as thunder crashes down, obliterating the creature completely. The monster's health hits 0, and its core starts fading away. Chu Josi lands and takes a breath as his experience points jump. He's looking confident, thinking this quest was actually a total breeze. System displays level 6, warrior class with fox set and black ice sword. Combat power 8,800, experience 315,000. 30 minutes later, he crushes the final dark monster's core. Looking at the wreckage, he announces that all those man-eating dark creatures outside are finally history. The system keeps showing Chu Josi's level 6 stats, warrior class, fox beast armor, and his black ice sword, lightning strike skill, combat power, 8,800, and 315,000 experience points. Chu Josi realizes the XP grind is getting real. These low-level mobs give almost nothing, way less than the mid-tier monsters do anyway. After tons of fights, his XP is stuck at 315,000. He thinks it through and realizes this quest won't cut it. He needs a better strategy to level up faster. Even if he's faster than in his old world, his goal is still miles away. He clenches his fist, determined to hit level 12 in a week and level 20 within a year. After thinking, Chu Josi turns to Sakura and shyly asks if she has any lightning grease. Sakura hands it over immediately and says, "You've worked so hard, Master." System note, lightning grease is made from sap and thunder flowers to add lightning damage to your weapons. It's a common magic item for mages. After handing it over, Sakura checks her bag and says she's got 4 more bottles ready for both of them. Master can use them whenever you need. Chu Josi wipes his forehead and praises Sakura for being so prepared. He asks about the price and mentions they should stock up on more oils since they're super useful. Sakura awkwardly pulls out a receipt and admits they're totally broke. This stuff is pricey, and she spent every last cent buying it. She asks for forgiveness, but Chu Josi just scratches his head and tells her not to worry. Then he asks about the cost per bottle and the quest reward. He asks Sakura for a breakdown since he hasn't been paying attention to their cash. Deep down, he's kicking himself for focusing only on leveling up and forgetting about the money. Even though Sakura spent everything, she doesn't complain at all. Sakura explains that lightning grease costs about 30 silver coins per bottle because it's pretty rare. Low-level quest rewards usually don't even hit 1 gold coin, so people mostly make their own quests when they lose something valuable. Chu Josi nods and tells Sakura she's super smart. She sums up that this monster cleanup pays between 50 silver and 3 gold coins depending on the difficulty. This current quest might pay 3 gold, but it really depends on whoever's handing out the reward. She basically concludes that they are completely broke right now. Once the job is done, the guild calculates the reward. That money has to cover their living expenses and all the gear they need too. Hearing that, Chu Josi stays quiet for a second before telling her she's basically like a perfect, caring housewife. They keep hunting around the village until they stop at a stable. Chu Josi gets hyped, realizing the boss is in the food storage. He says, "Just 1 more to go. Let's finish this fast." Sakura cheers him on, wishing him luck. Suddenly, someone shouts from a distance, asking who the hell they are and why they're trespassing. The farm owner, a beastman, walks up with a few other guys, introducing himself and questioning the 2 adventurers, a human and a demi-human, on what they're doing here. A goat beastman in a cloak notices traces of lightning magic and guesses they wiped out the Dark Ones. Brad immediately snaps back that there is just no way. These 2 look way too weak and are probably just hunting for that item. A huge beastman in the back asks, "You guys are looking for the heart too, right? We took the quest, so whatever loot drops belongs to us and nobody else." Gravanet looks annoyed that rumors about the heart are spreading. Not getting it, Chu Josi asks what this heart thing is and explains they got the quest from the guild. Sakura suddenly realizes something and stops him. She blurts out that the heart must be the special item that drops from this boss. This makes Chu Josi look at the group in front of him with suspicion. The farmer scratches his head, admitting he posted the quest at the guild, but didn't expect anyone so soon. He realizes these 2 have no clue about the rare item. Red Big Dung aims his bow and snaps that they better beat it if they're clueless. Interfere with the heart mission, and they're dead. Chu Josi doesn't get the mission, but he sees their trash attitude, draws his steel, and looks to Secula for answers. She grips her blade, swearing they can't back down. This loot is worth a literal fortune. System says the heart is a legendary drop from dark bosses. Purify it, and you've got the key to the dark zones. Skura adds that loot drops and XP in those dark zones are 10 times higher than anywhere else. Raw, it's worth 100 gold coins. Purified, we're talking at least 150. Chu Josi's jaw drops. That's a massive, life-changing payday. He mutters they have to snag it no matter what. This thing is the key to finally reaching his goal. Both sides are ready to throw down when the farm owner rushes in, desperate to stop a bloodbath. Whoa, chill out. Stop the fighting. We can talk this out. Don't make this mess any worse. He looks at both squads and makes a deal. You're all guests here, so prove your worth. Whoever slays the boss gets the prize. May the best team win. Sura gets right in the old man's face, glaring hard. We're going in first, she snaps, her heart set on grabbing that legendary loot for her master. Loa Vonnet flexes his massive arms, drops a heavy hand on the owner's shoulder, and growls. Why should we back down? One shot each. You're the one who invited us, so we're taking the first crack at it. The owner nods slowly. You're right, I did ask you here. Go ahead, the first turn is yours. Devnit's squad of level 12s is acting totally stuck up. Before heading in, he talks some major trash about showing the weak human and the half-breed what real power looks like. Renette smirks, readying his bow. This dark boss is no joke, but the payout is insane. One shot. Give it everything. Set scans their lineup. They've got mages, archers, warriors, the whole works. If they don't mess up, they'll kill the boss and we're left with nothing. Chu Josi crosses his arms. Is that right? He steps up with a smirk. How about I just go in solo? He tosses his sword over his shoulder. He checks his stats and shrugs. Look, I'm just a level 6 adventurer. If I fail, we walk away. But if I slay the boss, the loot is mine. Deal? Dravanis' group just stand there, totally stunned. Dravanis loses it, laughing and pointing at the kid. Get real, loser. You need to be level 18 to solo that thing. Renette is wheezing. A level 6 trying to solo? This kid's blinded by the gold. Nihuet shrugs. Hey, we're not gonna stop you. They agree, and Chu Josi pumps his fist. Done. Sakura rushes over, worried. Master, for real? That boss is level 12 and corrupted. Your skills won't cut it. Before she can finish, Chu Josi just winks and thumps his chest like it's no big deal. Tora, trust me. Sayora smiles back. I do. Ronus just sneers. Go ahead, level 6. I can't wait to watch that boss turn you into a pancake. Chu Josi plays dumb, scratching his head. Turned into a pancake? All right then. But the second he turns around, his eyes go stone cold. Time to see who's really hunting whom. He fires up the hidden system and masks his real level. Neat sees his face and flinches. Did this guy's vibe just totally shift? Chu Josi heads deep into the lair, eyes glowing when he spots the beast. So you're the strong one Sayora warned me about. Too bad for you. I'm more interested in that heart. Standing there is this massive, slimy freak with one red eye in its forehead and way too many arms and tentacles. Draven's crew is losing it. Jiner yells that it's level 14, but Draven shouts it's corrupted, probably level 23. Sakura is at the entrance, screaming his name. Bladley just smirks with his arms crossed. Get the body bag ready, girl. He's dead in 10 seconds. Sakura turns around, her eyes like ice. Shut up. The whole group goes silent instantly. Inside, Chu Josi uses his god-tier vision to scan the beast. Normally, dark monsters have specific weaknesses, but this thing is on another level. The old tricks won't work. The beast spots him and leans in close. Rows of razor-sharp teeth drip with some nasty glowing slime. Chu Josi summons his black ice soul sword and sighs. I didn't want to go this hard, but I don't have all day. I get what those guys meant now. He summons lightning, eyes glowing. 1 second is all I need. The system warns him that the king's hammer is too high level, forcing this move is going to drain him completely. Activation time, 1 second. Let's go, lightning hammer combo. He knows lightning is the weakness. He buffs his body to the max, pouring everything into one final strike. He raises the hammer as the thunder starts screaming. If this misses, I'm toast. But I won't miss. That loot is going home with me. System check. Level 6, warrior. Gear. Black ice, soul sword, and the god's hammer. Combat power, 8,800. Chu Josi grips the hammer and slams it down, making the whole world shake. The beast roars, flexing its tentacles for a counterstrike. He swings again with everything he's got, leaping high and bringing the lightning down like a god. A blinding explosion of light rips through the roof. Outside, the team is panicking. What the hell is going on? Inside, there's nothing but lightning and flying debris. Sakura covers her ears, praying. He used that power again. He's gonna be exhausted. The whole farm is shaking. People are freaking out. What is that? The boss is staring at his wrecked warehouse. Sakura scans the rubble and yells, Master, you in there. People are already whispering that the big boss finally got smoked. Suddenly, a hand pops out of the trash. Chu Josi crawls out holding a glowing blue stone, asking if this thing is the heart. System shows level 6 warrior with fox gear, black ice sword, and some insane heavenly skills. Combat power is 8,800 and experience is 6,000 out of 15,000. Chu Josi and Sakura return to the guild. Mayo greets them, shocked they finished so fast. Here is your loot, she says, dropping a coin bag. That is some serious gold badge energy right there. Word is other teams failed hard. Sakura takes the cash and says, thanks. But my master handled the boss alone. Mayo just laughs. A level 14 dark monster? No way, a level 6 rookie pulled that off. Mayo sees Chu Josi passed out on a chair. Is he totally wasted? Sakura says he is just drained from doing everything himself. Mayo doesn't believe it, but his status is recovering. Chu Josi stands up, muscles feeling fresh. Releasing that hammer for 1 second almost wrecked him. Good thing Sakura was there. He scratches his head and asks about the heartstone. Mayo looks shocked. You actually managed to snag a heart? The auction house would pay a fortune, she says. Sakura just smiles. Not for sale. Do we need a letter for the mages? I need them to purify this thing. Mayo asks if he is actually going to use it. You need a mage for that. Mayo goes inside to write a letter. The Mages Guild is east, but they have exams soon, so they might be busy. You are waiting for me? Sakura says thanks. Chu Josi asks, what is the deal with these exams? Mages have ranks too? Sakura explains that mages earn titles through tests. There are 6 ranks, just like for doctors or the awakened ones. Only mages can craft special potions and gear. Higher rank means more power and a much bigger price tag on their stuff. Mages are not like adventurers. They do not really fight, but they stay high class. Their items can even break level caps. Chuozi is stunned. Level caps? Sakura says there is a saying. 1 high-level mage is scarier than 19 warriors. Their items change the whole game. They even help people level up, which is why everyone is always hunting for them. Chu Josi thinks that is pretty cool. Just then, she brings the recommendation letter out and hands it to Sakura. With this, you can get that heart purified. Sakura takes the letter and gives Mayo a massive heartfelt thank you. She holds the envelope, which is sealed tight with the official Adventurers Guild stamp. Chu Josi and Sakura keep moving toward the Mages Guild. Outside the gates, the line is absolutely insane. It is a total zoo out there. Seeing the massive crowd, Chu Josi shouts that there are way too many mages here just for a simple test. Sakura nods, explaining that every fancy family and school in the area sends their best people on this specific day. These exams are legendary for being super brutal. As they walk up, every pair of eyes in the place snaps right to them. Sakura grabs Chu Josi's hand. Just stay in line, she says. We have the guild letter, so we are definitely getting in. Sakura finds a mage and politely asks if someone can help them perform a purification ritual for this heartstone. The guy standing in front of them is a white mage who works for the local guild. He looks them over and coldly says only mages enter today. It is exam day. Humans and half-beasts are not allowed. Sakura pulls out the letter and nicely explains they were sent by the Adventurers Guild, but the mage is not having it. The white mage shoves Sakura aside and yells that he does not care who wrote the letter. Exams are the top priority and he does not have time for them. He tells them to get lost right now. Seeing that, Chu Josi immediately steps in front of Sakura to block the guy. He stares the guy down and says, we have a letter, so it is your job to let us inside. The mage laughs in his face and claims that at this guild, they are the ones who hold all the power. You are not getting in until this exam is over, no matter how long it takes you. Chuosi balls his fist to swing, but Sakura pulls his sleeve. Making him mad will just make things worse, she whispers. Just then, an old guy with a wooden staff walks out and asks what all the noise is about out here. This is Dak, the representative of the Northern Mage Association and the big boss of this entire area. He looks down at the mess. The white mage bows fast and apologizes for all the loud noise. He points at Chu, Josi, and Sakura, claiming they are troublemakers trying to force a purification during the busy exams. Before he can finish lying, Chu Josi asks if he is the boss and why they are being blocked. We have the guild letter. Why are you keeping us out of the building? The white mage starts yelling about respect, but Dak gently reminds him that mages should not act that way. He tells Chu Josi he will handle the ritual, but since they are swamped, please come back later. Chu Josi knew he was in a huge rush because leveling up was his main priority, so he awkwardly asked if there was any other way around this. The president replied that the only way forward was to join the mage exam and earn a grade A reward. If he did, the old man would personally handle all the paperwork. But as a warrior, Chu Josi was straight up disqualified from even entering the test. Chu Josi scratched his head and seriously asked about the rules for the exam. When they heard that, all the mages nearby started laughing and mocking him. They called him clueless and told him it was a disgrace. The old man stroked his long beard and explained that to become a real mage, a person must possess the power of a witch and pass 2 separate exams for crafting magical tools. Only then are you recognized as a white mage. Josi just nodded and asked to borrow the old man's staff to prove he could do it. The president of the Mage Association was stunned. This kid really wanted to flex by borrowing his personal staff? A white mage tried to stop him and started yelling, "You are a fool for asking that. Only a mage can use this. Keep it up and I will call the guards to kick you out. But Josi stood his ground and asked one more time, looking totally serious about his request. He promised to prove he was worthy. The old man stared at him for a moment before handing over the staff, saying this was getting very interesting. He wanted to see a warrior try to pull this off, especially since the staff had 0-level requirements. Sakura leaned in and whispered, asking what his plan was. Josi just smiled and told her to trust the process. Zura nodded instantly, her face turning red. Whenever her master said that, he always found a way to win. As Josi gripped the staff, the white mage looked at him with pure disgust. Josi just raised his hand, his eyes glowing as he began to cast magic. The mage turned around and was suddenly hit by a massive, invisible force. Suddenly, roses exploded everywhere around him. The mage turned bright red and grabbed his head in total shock at the spell. Josi thought that if his guess was right, copying a mage skill and using the staff as a bridge would finally let him cast real magic. Right then, the system confirmed that his absolute copy skill was fully activated. Looking at the spells, Josi realized he could basically do any job. Being a warrior was just a personal vibe. The system told him he could just touch an enemy's heart to steal and copy their best move. 0 cooldown time for this, but he could only hold one at a time. He swapped his Earthshake skill for the Flash spell. The system showed it was a support spell that cost 30 mana points to use. This bright light blinds targets for 3 seconds. The range depends on mana power, which the system noted is the most important stat for any serious mage. A moment later, the system announced that the Flash skill was fully copied. When the white mage woke up, he felt Yosi's insane power and started screaming about what was happening. Josi lifted the stolen staff high. He controlled the magic and told them that if a mage uses a staff to cast spells and he could do the same, then he definitely qualified for the exam. The president watched the mana waves Josi was creating and wondered if this kid was actually a secret mage. The system noted that mana waves only happen when a high-level mage casts magic with a deep connection. Josi turned to Sakura with a soft smile and told her to close her eyes tight. She did exactly what he said. A blinding light exploded from the staff, wrapping Josi in a wave of raw power. Feeling the massive energy surge, the mage quickly threw up an invisible shield to protect himself. The system explained that the Phantom Shield is support magic that can be used without any staff at all. It blocks physical hits and weak spells. Behind his shield, the mage felt safe, thinking a basic light spell could never break it. The system detected Josi casting and offered to boost his mana using his super body from 150. After thinking it over, he chose to accept, and the system notified him that his mana was boosted by his super body. Instantly, the magical power exploding from the staff hit a whole new level. The system showed the Flash spell was now supercharged, with his mana hitting 3,500. The mage was paralyzed with fear as the intensity of the light went way beyond his expectations. Finally, the system warned that his Phantom Shield stood no chance against such a massive blast of light. Dak's sound shield shattered into pieces, and the entire Mage Guild courtyard was swamped by Chu Josi's massive mana. Eyes glowing, Chu Josi called out to the president. He asked straight up if he finally qualified for the mage exam. The system updated immediately. Chu Josi, level 6 mage class, now equipped with the full Fox Beastman set, armed with the Black Ice Flash Sword and a level-less staff. Skills, Heaven's Strike and Holy Light. Power, 8,800. Blocking the blinding light with his hand, the president squinted and finally growled that Chu was approved for the exam. He was in. Entering the room, the Beastman mages started gossiping. A human? No way. They thought he was lost and belonged in the pharmacy exam instead. One mage crossed his arms, noting that this was the first time anything like this had ever happened here. Surrounded by judgy glares and constant whispering, Chu Josi felt totally out of his element and quite annoyed. Scratching his head, he told Sakura that everyone was looking at him like he was their worst enemy. Sakura gently explained that since he was the first human at the mage exam, they were suspicious of his motives. The system pinged his stats again. Level 6 mage, Fox Beastman gear, Black Ice Flash Sword, plus those insane unlimited level skills. Combat power, 8,800. Hearing that, Chu turned and asked, "Am I really the first human here?" Sakura nodded. She explained that humans usually have their own pharmacists, which are similar to mages or beastmen. There are no specific rules banning humans from entering, but tradition has always kept things separate for a very long time. These 3 paths have their own factions. Stepping onto their turf is basically seen as a direct challenge to them. Chu finally got why they were staring. He covered his mouth and whispered, "I am just here to level up, not start a war." Sakura whispered back, "I know. As long as you follow the rules, just do what you think is right, master." Elsewhere, Dak was talking to a guy holding a staff with a giant glowing blue gem on top of it. "I am not against President Dak's choice," the man said. That was Yu Shi, vice president of the Northern Mage Association. He hesitated, then added, "But setting this precedent? Won't that hurt the honor of our beastman mage faction? As vice president, I seriously doubt if that human can even mix a basic potion," he scoffed with a grin. "He doesn't even have a basic staff." Dak replied calmly, "I already let him borrow one of my own staffs. The goal today is just to see if he can pull it off. I really want to see his true potential." He remembered the magic waves Chu created. That only happens when a genius mage links their mana into a strong resonance. Dak thought to himself, it was just a flash, and maybe nobody else even noticed it at the time. But I felt that surge of mana coming from him. He added slowly, "I once saw that same potential in Kevin." Yu Shi laughed. "You are joking, right? That kid is nowhere near the level of a young genius like Kevin. He isn't fit to tie the shoes of Kevin's newest student." Dak remembered something. "Speaking of, is Kevin's new disciple, Fu Ling, here?" Yu Shi nodded. "Yeah, she is gunning for the #1 spot, and she has actually got a real shot. Kevin even went on record saying her talent is way beyond what he had when he was her age. She is a nightcat named Fu Ling, a high-level mage. When she stepped into the exam hall, the crowd went wild. Is that Kevin's famous new student? She looks so young. I heard she could already make potions last year but was disqualified. She is definitely taking first place this time. For the rest of us, just passing the exam would be a miracle." Fu Ling heard the whispers. She snapped her book shut and sighed. "These low-level losers are way too noisy for me." Dak walked in and shouted, "The mage exam is starting now. If you are not testing, get out. Candidates, find your spots." Chu looked at Sakura. "I am number 15, heading in." Sakura smiled and waved. "Good luck, I will be waiting right here." He checked his ticket, matching the number with the floor markings as he walked, mumbling to confirm his exact spot. Chu found his spot and stood tall. "Found it." Fu Ling, standing right next to him, glanced over. "A human?" Chu smiled. "I am Chu Josi." He compared her to Sakura in his head, thinking this beastman girl was cute too. Fu Ling did not even bother answering. She just sneered. "A human mage? Sounds like someone is just thirsty for attention." Chu flinched. She was good, but her mouth was sharp as a blade. Up on stage, Dak cleared his throat loudly. "Ready, everyone? We are testing basic skills. You must brew your own potions. Since you chose this path, be prepared." Suddenly, a heavy table slammed down in front of Chu. He jumped back. "Whoa, what is going on now?" Fu Ling's table was already loaded with supplies. She scoffed, "You don't even know what a refining station is? Just go home." Chu ignored her trash talk and just kept his cool. "Whatever, lady, let's get this started." He eyes the refining kit, straightens the cloth, and sighs. "This tech is prehistoric compared to my old world. Back there, everything was automated, clean, fast, and way less of a headache." High above, Dak speaks up, saying the VP will drop the test details soon. Right after, Elo slams his staff down, and boom, a glowing magic circle erupts across the floor. All the mages look up as Chu Josi checks the prompt. Basic alchemy, level 3, 1 hour on the clock. He thinks, is that all? 3 bottles in an hour? He scans the room to see how the others handle the pressure. Dak continues. First big hurdle, picking your materials. The table is loaded with junk. You need a sharp eye to spot the real deal. 9 ingredients are required, 1 wrong move and the whole thing blows up in your face. This is the part where most of these rookies fail. Chu Josi watches the chaos. Half these beastmen look totally lost. He mutters, "Are they really struggling with this part?" He looks at Fu Lin. Usually, mages have their supplies handed to them on a silver platter. Fu Lin is a blur, finished in seconds. She snickers, saying it is a total shame if you cannot memorize basic recipes like these. Seeing her fly through it, Chu Josi is stunned. Okay, she is actually legit. Her speed is insane. Grabbing her gear, she closes her eyes and focuses her staff. In her head, she knows failure is not an option. Master Kevin expects her to crush this opening round. High up, Eozette shouts, "Look, Kevin's star pupil is already moving." Dak nods, noting her precision and speed are basically flawless. This test is a total joke. She points her staff at the materials and commands them to crumble. The herbs melt into the solution instantly. She works with total focus. Chu Josi watches, thinking, she is a brat, but damn, she is good. Time to get to work. He decides to mirror her moves and boots up his system. Divine Eye starts scanning the target. Meanwhile, the big bosses are watching his every move from the balcony. Dak admits Kevin has a good eye. Her magic control is surgical. Eozette agrees, saying she is definitely going to be a top-tier mage someday. In no time, she finishes all 3 bottles and pours them into vials. Dak speaks up again. Now comes the most brutal part. She spins her staff, and a massive wave of emerald light wraps around her entire body. She hits the bottles with a refinement spell. Dak strokes his beard. Refining is where the real mages shine. Merging magic with matter is the ultimate test of raw strength. Fu Lin has nothing to worry about, though. If she stays on track, she will take the top spot easily. Suddenly, he spots Chu Joy just standing there. Wait, has he even started yet? What is that kid doing? Fu Lin enters the final concentration phase. She sets the bottles down and dusts off her hands. Finished. Too easy, she thinks, grinning. I am definitely number 1 today. Seeing her finish, Dak nods. Nice work. Now, wait for the others to finish so we can check the results. She groans. I seriously have to wait for these losers? She catches Chu Josi staring at her. Got a problem, weirdo? Take a picture, it lasts longer. His system pings. Analysis complete. Divine Eye deactivated. Target data recorded. Chu Josi finally gets to work, tossing a casual. Nothing at all. Thanks for the show, though. She scoffed. Just get moving. Time is ticking, and even an extra hour wouldn't help a guy like you. Before she could finish her insult, she froze. High above, the guild leaders also stood up, eyes wide at what was happening. He grabs Dak's staff. System alert pings. Optimize analyzed actions? He clicks yes without a second thought. Instantly, the system grabs the perfect ingredients while the refining process hits autopilot. His mana begins to surge with terrifying, unstoppable power. Her jaw hits the floor. She thinks, no way. He is picking, crushing, and refining everything at the same time? She never imagined he had this kind of raw talent hiding under the surface. Io Shich gasps, realizing this kid has been keeping his true power in the shadows this whole time, handling thousands of items and refining them at once. That is the legendary technique Kevin used back when he was just a young prodigy in the magic exams. He called it process simplification. It is a move that requires a massive, almost impossible amount of mana to pull off. It makes you wonder, could this kid actually be on the same level as a genius like Kevin? Outside the guild, Treka stands with her arms crossed, looking stressed. She wonders how her master is holding up in there. She lets out a heavy, anxious sigh. She trusts him with her life, but she cannot help feeling nervous. She just hopes he does not run into any roadblocks during the brewing phase. Back inside, Chu Josi is cranking up his magic to finish the test in record time. As the process wraps up, the system interface flashes in front of him. The system reports that optimization is complete. This includes the selection and sorting of the highest quality materials, grinding them into a fine powder, and refining them into a potent liquid solution. As the magic flows, Chu Josi smiles with satisfaction. It feels like he has done this task a million times before. Total muscle memory. Realizing that crafting and refining meds isn't just work, it's a high-stakes rush for a mage with a system. The system keeps flashing that the final step is the big one, where the mage pumps in mana to fuse everything together, jump-starting the potion's magical kick. Chu Josi looks at the 3 vials in front of him, thinking that the strength and quality of the potion depends on his own magical juice. Fu Lin is stunned while watching from the start. Meanwhile, Josi carefully finishes the final step, feeling relieved now that the potion has finally thickened and settled. Fu Lin remembers her master's skills and swears she won't be outclassed by some random mortal dude. She's low-key terrified he's pulling off that legendary high-speed finish technique like the great Master Kevin. Watching this scene unfold, someone mentions how Kevin shocked the world using that speed tech to craft rank C meds. That stuff was way beyond a white mage's league. Even back when he was judging, he struggled to whip up rank C potions. The system notes that potions are ranked from 0 to 5 based on the maker's grind. It all comes down to skill. This rank decides the price and power get to level 3, and weird supernatural stuff starts happening. EOSPC says a human hitting rank C is a miracle. Even if the extraction was smooth, the final product is the only thing that actually matters here. Honestly, even he couldn't hit rank C without a perfectly quiet room. System says rank C potions are rare gems, usually made by blue mages in deep focus, making them super high demand. Since rank D stuff fills 80% of the market, everyone's just holding their breath while Chu Josi finishes the exam. Right then, the system pings Josi, saying the potion rank is predicted to be anywhere from D to S depending on his moves. Reading this, Chu Josi thinks this ranking is way different from the mass-produced junk back in his old world. As the vials finish up, the system predicts a basic rank D energy potion. Josi wonders if he's just a rookie. But hey, it should be enough to pass the test. His competitive side starts kicking in though. If Fu Lin hits rank C, he loses his lead. He has to nail at least a rank D. He realizes rank depends on mana attributes. If he can change his power, the whole result might change. He decides to boost his mana with his superhuman physique, adjusting the flow and closing his eyes to cast. System shows his mana capacity is now sitting at 150. The president and VP are getting twitchy since the process isn't done yet. They think his hesitation and lack of confidence might wreck the whole refinement. Meanwhile, EOS just laughs, saying he's going all in on those materials. Fu Lin is confused why Chu Josi is stalling when the condensing phase should have been finished by now. Other mages around them start heckling, asking why the refinement is taking forever. One guy tries to grab Josi, warning him that if he keeps this up, he'll run completely dry on mana. Fu Lin slaps his hand away instantly, telling him to back off and stop distracting Josi. Clearly, the guy knows nothing about mages. Meanwhile, Chu Josi realizes his current magic has no specific element. Changing his attribute seems impossible. System confirms his mana is currently element neutral. Then Josi remembers the lightning attribute from the God King's hammer and realizes he can tap into that same power. He decides to borrow power from the hammer to flip his mana attribute. It's a gamble, but he's ready. Watching from above, someone notes that Josi's mana waves are shaky and probably won't last. Even Yos X feels it, worried the refinement will fail. Then, Chu Josi summons the God King's hammer. Sparks fly as he focuses his mind, calling out for the avatar of the God King. His eyes glow as lightning wraps around him, his consciousness demanding the strength of the God King himself. This sight leaves the mages and Fu Lin completely speechless. Nobody can even find the words. Fu Lin thinks to herself that his mana just spiked like crazy. Josi feels the lightning take over. It is just a short burst, but it is enough. The system reports his mana capacity just jumped to 3,500 and his magic attribute is now pure lightning. Josi lifts his staff high, mixing his magic with that raw electrical power. He shouts that the final refinement and crystallization are done. Sweaty but relieved, Josi announces the basic energy potion is finally ready. He wipes his forehead. He admits that changing attributes took everything he had. Now he just wonders if the result is enough to finally beat Fu Lin. Teosit commented that even though his mana was unstable, Chu Josi actually nailed both the refining and the solidifying phases. Dak was totally shocked, wondering if that instability actually vanished once he felt another massive elemental wave. He couldn't help but wonder what Chu Josi did. Everyone around started whispering like crazy. Meanwhile, Chu Josi was totally lost and asked what was even going on with a surprised look. As the time for the exam ran out, a loud announcement echoed through the hall, telling everyone they had to stop right now. Anyone who breaks the rules is disqualified. Dak announced that Vice President Devada would judge the potions. He sniffed the first red bottle and said the scent was weak and faded fast. Super simple structure. It was ranked 0, but he congratulated the mage anyway, who bowed down feeling like it was a total honor to pass. Next, he checked a test with 3 bottles spewing black smoke. He noted the liquid was cloudy and smelled burnt from over-refining. A total failure. The mage heard the news and let out a desperate cry. Yosp added that this potion actually lowers your stats, too. As more mages were judged, some were crying tears of joy while others were totally crushed by being rejected. The vice president walked over to Fu Lin's station and called her name, while also asking her how Kevin was doing lately. Fu Lin stood with her hands behind her back and said her master was fine, which made Eospake smile. When he opened her bottle, a rich aroma filled the air. Eospake noted it was a very promising sign. Hearing the positive feedback, Fu Lin just gave a small nod and a humble little smile. EOS kept checking and confirmed the scent was bold and long-lasting. Final verdict: a solid rank C basic energy potion. Fuen thought to herself that she didn't let her master down and crushed the assignment perfectly. The surrounding mages went wild, claiming she was a genius just like Kevin. They were sure she'd take first place, making her feel proud of her master's brutal training. Chu Josi looked at her results and thought a rank C potion was actually pretty impressive. Then, the judge headed over and told Chu Josi it was his turn. Standing right in front of him, he asked how he felt about the result. And Chu Josi humbly replied that he just gave it his absolute best effort. Vice President Big Chen chimed in, saying that if he wasn't confident, he'd probably only hit rank D at the very best. Dak calmly told him that as long as he worked hard, there was nothing to worry about. Now, let's see those results. When he opened Chu Josi's 3 bottles, sparks started flying and a powerful aroma filled the air, getting the whole crowd buzzing. The space in front of him looked like a distant galaxy filled with glowing stars and magical bolts of electricity everywhere. Seeing that wild scene, even Chu Josi couldn't help but gasp in total shock. A flash of lightning made him look up at the elder for a few seconds before asking if this was some kind of supernatural phenomenon. Even Vice President Bai was stunned by the sight, noting that any potion capable of causing a supernatural event had to be at least rank B. Vo Lin looked up in total disbelief, thinking that only someone as powerful as Master Kevin could ever pull off a rank B potion like that. The mages below went completely silent. Not a single one of them dared to say a word. Right then, a deep fragrance filled the room. Dak took a sniff and judged that the scent was incredibly rich. It showed the potion was pure and clearly supernatural. He turned to the vice president and said they might have totally misjudged things. because this kid might actually be a much scarier monster than even that genius Kevin. Chu Josi looked down at his bottle and sighed after all that exhausting refining. Once the grading was done, Dak declared there was no doubt about it. He was definitely going to take first place in the Mage exam. Meanwhile, at the entrance, Sala was still waiting there, feeling totally anxious and stressed. She kept pacing back and forth impatiently. The beastman outside couldn't help but stare as she walked, while Sakura was just mumbling that her master still hadn't shown up yet. Suddenly, Chu Josi stepped out from the crowd with a huge smile, waving and calling out Sakura's name. When she saw him, Hakura rushed over to welcome him back and told him how worried she was. Chu Josi apologized for making her nervous and said the exam was over. Hearing that, Kaikura quickly asked about the results. Chu Josi happily told her he took first place and was there to pick her up. Sakura cheered with excitement. Meanwhile, the beastmen in the back just looked at each other, totally blown away. He held the unpurified stone and wondered why someone with so much power only wanted to use it to purify a single piece of cardiolite. The system immediately pulled up the info. Cardiolite is a rare item that only drops from elite shadow bosses. After refining it, you can activate it with magic to open up a completely private shadow realm for training, which gives nearly 10 times more experience than usual. That makes it a top pick for adventurers. Chu Josi admitted he just wanted to use it to level up. Hearing his plan, he agreed to grant his wish since he had officially taken the top spot in the exam. The vice president took the chance to ask Chu Josi who taught him how to make potions, because there was no way he didn't have a master. Chu Josi acts smug, smoothing back his hair while saying he is totally self-taught. The guild masters just stand there stunned, admitting they cannot believe this kid has more talent than they do. Then the boss turns around to lead Chu Josi and Sala away. He promises white robes once the cardiolite is ready. Fu Lin just watches them walk past, her whole body shaking with some kind of crazy emotion. She whispers an apology to Master Kevin for losing to someone she thought was just weak. Taka snaps her head around the second she hears that name, Kevin. Her eyes are pure fire, guessing Fu Lin is Kevin's student. Chu Josi sees Sura freeze up and asks what is wrong. Sakura shakes it off with a fake smile, saying she just zoned out. Chu Josi grins and tells her to keep moving. They still have way more work to do today. Sekala just nods. Everyone clears out, leaving Fu Lin alone, white-knuckling her cloth and trembling. Chu Josi and Sakura follow the masters into the ritual chamber. A massive magic circle sits on the floor, surrounded by herbs and sacrifices. The leader raises his staff and begins the chant. Mother of Earth, Father of Fire, Water Spirits, and Wind. Listen up and purify this item in the mage name. Vice Master Bitch explains that dark hearts need a very specific kind of cleaning. He tells Josi he is lucky the big boss is doing it. Chu Josi is blown away, asking if this is how real mages do their thing. Sekula nods, explaining that the bigger the spell, the longer you have to talk. The leader slams his staff down, sending golden light through the entire room. He keeps chanting, calling on water and wind to blast away the dark shadows. He holds the staff high, flashing a cross symbol in the circle, then dumps all that energy into the stone to finish the ritual. He hands the clean stone back, telling Chu Josi to charge it since only he can use it. Chu Josi thanks him, saying that ritual was actually pretty cool. The master explains these hearts come in 3 tiers: low, mid, and high. Even low ones are lethal, but this is a mid-tier. Chu Josi is stoked to farm some massive experience points. The boss confirms higher risk means bigger loot, way different than any newbie zones. Stroking his beard, he gives some veteran advice. A perfect squad needs a tank, 2 warriors, 2 mages, and a healer too. He asks about the team plan. Chu Josi just laughs, saying he is a solo player for life. Sakura adds that she is sitting out so he gets all the experience. Both masters are totally floored when they realize he is hitting the dark zone all alone. He opens the portal, explaining Josi gets 2 resets for 3 total rounds. Fresh dark forces spawn each time, then the heart vanishes after you finish the 3rd round. He warns Josi that once he is in, he only leaves by winning or timing out. The Vice Master adds that dying just kicks your body out. Chu Josi just chuckles, telling him he is not planning on leaving as a corpse. Sakura groans, hating that they even brought that up. Sakura hands over a bag of potions she saved up from her previous quests. Chu Josi smiles, thanking her for being so prepared. Then tells her to wait for his big return. Suddenly, the master calls out, asking how he expects to use magic without a staff. He offers a loan, but Chu Josi just shows off some hand sparks. Thanks, but he is definitely not going to need a staff. He draws his sword, announcing he is actually a warrior. The system screen pops. Level 6, Chu Josi, warrior class, wearing fox gear and ice sword with lightning strike skills. Power hits 8,800. Heart usage is 1 of 3. Sura bows low and wishes him luck on his journey. The president and his right-hand man look like they just saw a ghost. Finding out the kid is actually a warrior blew their minds. It is a shame to waste that kind of insane magical talent. They cannot help but wonder how high his ceiling really is, and honestly, the hype is real. After crossing the threshold, Chu Josi steps into the shadows, an area of pure, pitch-black darkness. The system alerts him that 12 hours remain, and the cooldown for the entrance to reset and reopen is also 12 hours. He tells himself to hurry up and take out the monsters to make the most of every second. Before he even gets very far, Chu Josi spots a pack of wolves snarling and fighting over a fresh kill. Using his divine eye, the system identifies them as level 10 dark wolves, basic forest variants with a fire attribute. They attack fast with razor-sharp claws and use some pretty dirty pack tactics to take you down. Crouched in the brush, Chu Josi tracks every movement, thinking he needs to be smart to avoid getting swarmed while looking for a way to end this fight fast. Suddenly, Chu Josi drops from above like a bolt of lightning, catching all 7 wolves completely off guard. All he is thinking about right now is testing out his new superhuman physical limits. He pops his body enhancement skill, feeling his arms swell with power as he gives the pack a final warning before the massacre starts. Chu Josi follows up with a lightning strike and a heavy thunder crash, causing a massive explosion that cuts the wolves' health down to 1/3. Landing gracefully, he picks off the survivors one by one and watches his experience bar start to climb. Each wolf is worth 500 experience points. Chu Josi notes that this is like farming mini-bosses back in his homeworld, while the system shows him at 6,500 out of 15,000. He laughs, realizing the gains here are way better than the outside world. He keeps grinding, hyped that he might double his level in just 3 rounds. Facing the last 2 wolves, things are getting intense. The system warns that the paralysis effect has worn off, meaning the beasts are back up and lunging straight for Chu Josi. Dealing with the rush, he stays cool, blocks the hits, and gears up for the final counterattack. The paralysis wore off way too fast. Dark creatures are built different, their resistance levels are totally off the charts. A wolf snaps at him with its massive jaws, but he blocks it just in time. 1 second late and he would have been lunch. Chu Josi gasps at the insane speed. If he had been any slower, his throat would have been ripped wide open. He stops cold. He senses another dark wolf closing in from behind and his brain starts working overtime. Using your buddy to block my vision? Pretty clever for a mutt. Chu Josi puts everything into his arm, activating his superhuman body system to channel 60% of his total power. With a burst of speed and raw strength, his weapon becomes a total meat grinder. He swings and takes the dark wolf's head clean off. He yells, "Catch this!" as the wolf drops dead. More experience points incoming. Chu Josi goes into beast mode. He figures hitting level 7 on the first try is totally doable as the meter hits 700 out of 15. Outside, Taikora is still standing there looking super stressed. Seeing her silence, the president walks over and asks if she is worried about the guy. Staring at the portal, he tells Sakura that soloing a dark zone is basically unheard of. Only someone with godlike power could pull that off, right? Sakura grits her teeth, her eyes full of fire as she says she believes in her master. The vice president sighs with his hands behind his back. He has seen many young prodigies get wrecked by their own egos. This is the first time he has seen anyone go solo against a dark zone boss. He heads out, hoping the kid wakes up soon. Hearing the trash talk about Chu Josi, Taikora puffs her cheeks out in total annoyance. Deep in the dark forest, Chu Josi hits the dirt, soaked in sweat and gasping for air after non-stop combat. He staggers up through a pile of wolf corpses, his body is shaking and his energy is almost at 0. The system alerts him that health and willpower are down 50%. Overusing that superhuman body really took a toll on him. Remembering Sala's help, he pulls 2 recovery potions out of his inventory. Chu Josi chugs both bottles in one go, then immediately spits and makes a face. He forgot this stuff tastes like absolute garbage. After forcing it down, his stats start to climb back up. With his strength returning, he decides to head even deeper into the woods. Back at the entrance, Taikora and the president are still pulling a long shift waiting. Sola asks why the boss is still hanging around. He calmly admits he is worried about the kid making it back alive. Thinking about Chu Josi with that massive sword on his shoulder, he keeps talking. Imagine a warrior joining a mage exam just to purify his core. No staff, yet he still brews top-tier potions. Suddenly, the guild leader hears a noise from the gate. He mutters, "I just heard something moving around in there." Skula catches the sound too and cheers. "That is the master. I can hear his signature thunder." As long as that sound echoes, we know the master is alive. Cut to the dark zone where Chu Josi is straight up wrecking monsters. He dives from above, swinging his blade and screaming, "Eat this lightning." One hit, and the whole pack is wiped out. The system pings. 12,400 out of 15,000 experience points earned. Staring at the massive pile of monster corpses, he mutters, "One down, now for your boss." He wipes the grime off his face and smiles despite being totally gassed. He has reached the deepest layer. He can practically taste level 7. It is right around the corner. Standing at a cave with glowing red and blue eyes, Chu Josi decides to take 5 before the big fight. The system shows he is a level 6 warrior. He is rocking Foxman gear and his signature Black Ice Tooth sword. Skyfall skill is ready, but copy is locked. Power level 8,800. Experience is almost at the cap. He sits down, drops his sword, and chugs a potion. Once it is empty, he lets out a massive burp as the bottle rolls away. Chu sighs. This tastes like absolute garbage. Back in my world, the potions were way more convenient and tasty, but this stuff is way more effective. Once he feels 100% recovered, Chu Josi jumps to his feet. Status fully recovered. He throws his sword over his shoulder and yells, "All right, I am ready. Let's do this." The heavy cave doors slowly creak open. He walks inside, dragging his blade along the ground, completely unaware of the threat behind him. There is a stalker in the shadows. A massive beast with glowing red eyes is following his every move from the deep darkness of this cave. He spins around to size it up. It is the same level as the last eater, but the vibe is way scarier. This is definitely the boss. Chu Josi triggers his superhuman body mode. He gets a 60% power boost using both hands. He faces a massive pig monster with a glowing purple blade, the legendary level 14 boss of this zone. Before he can even set his feet, the monster charges in like a freight train. Fear flashes in his eyes. He flinches as the beast slams its massive sword down, shattering the ground and sending rocks flying everywhere. Luckily, his reflexes are on point. He brings his sword up just in time to block the strike. He pushes back with everything he has, veins popping on his forehead. This guy is way too fast and freakishly strong. The beast roars, blasting out purple sound waves. Chu Josi tries to use ice magic to block it, but it barely does anything. He is shaking all over. It is a fear skill. The system explains that this shock tactic is only used by high-level powerhouses. It is meant to crush your spirit, making you panic and slowing your body down to a complete crawl. "Move! Come on! Please just move!" He is frozen stiff while the monster keeps swinging that giant blade at him. He bites his lip, desperately trying to force his legs to move. "Move! Damn it! This is my body!" Suddenly, his system ring flashes a bright golden light. At that exact moment, the monster's sword slams down in a massive explosion. The monster's massive blade gets jammed right against Chu Josi's own sword, locking them together. The slow debuff has finally worn off. Sparking with electricity, he glares at the beast and says, "I am not going out that easily." Even though he is totally gassed, he feels a surge of pure energy through his veins. He wonders if this energy is the reason the fear wore off, or if it is all just an illusion. The monster looks totally annoyed that he actually broke free. Chu just smiles confidently and says, "I told you, you ugly pig, I am not that easy to kill." The beast finally yanks its sword back and retreats. Then, it actually starts to talk. "You are strong. Your aura is intense. I did not expect you to break my slow effect like that." Chu is shocked. It can actually talk. "You can speak? I honestly thought you dark creatures were just mindless monsters that could not communicate." The creature replies, "We are the darkness. We are the superior beings in this world." Chu is stunned. Looking at the monster, he thinks, "Oh no, he is using that technique again. If only he had his dark goblin armor, he could use those rage tentacles to hit its weak spot. Too bad that gear is still in his original world." The system screen pops up. Level 6 warrior with Foxman armor and the black ice blade. His copy skill is grayed out because he currently lacks the requirements to use it. The monster switches its stance and swings a massive red blast toward Chu, creating a shockwave that literally cracks the ground under his feet. He blocks with everything he has got. Damn, he thinks. His weapon is on a whole different level. This guy is a serious heavyweight. The system says every piece of gear has a durability limit once it drops. You get weak and need a blacksmith to fix it. Everything is a total blur for Chu Josi. He is shaking, trying to tell himself that last hit just messed with his vision. A blade whistles right past his hair. Chu Josi grits his teeth. It is too fast to block. The beast keeps coming, stacking up attacks. The sword tears through the air again, grazing Chu Josi's neck. Blood starts trickling out. He is backed into a corner with 0 options left. Chu Josi counters immediately, pouring every bit of his strength into the strike. He uses his speed to close the gap on Tan Kong, clutching his bleeding neck with one hand. His health bar is starting to tank. He forces a smirk. He is hit, bleeding out, and has 0 meds to stop it. At this rate, he is not making it out alive. System alert. Bleeding is a debuff. If you do not stop the leak, you will die from blood loss. You need a healing skill or magic to fix this. Chu Josi thinks, no meds means I will collapse soon. I have to kill this thing before I pass out. Looking at the giant beast, he wonders if he should burn his last chances to escape and heal. Damn it, if he stays, he will just bleed until he drops. Forget it, there is no going back now. Chu Josi lunges forward with a heavy slash, eyes glowing red as he screams to just kill it. The monster is caught off guard and forced to defend. Chu Josi pushes the advantage, yelling, "Taste my lightning, you overgrown freak." As the blade hits, a massive blue explosion rips through the air. Chu Josi jumps back, praying that the hit actually landed. Why didn't it move? The beast just stands there in the glowing light, sword in hand, looking like it did not feel a thing. System says the strike hit the dirt, 0 damage dealt. The monster looks at Chu Josi and laughs in his face. Now, the real panic starts setting in. Great, the lightning was a bust. Suddenly, the monster loses it, roaring that he will take Chu Josi's life without needing any kind of sacrifice. Chu Josi frowns. Sacrifice? What the hell is that? The beast flies high into the air and slams his sword down, making the entire ground explode into pieces. It mocks him. Is this your max level? Chu Josi crashes down, his health bar already sliced in half. The beast stares at him, talking trash. Lost your weapon already? Adventurers are so pathetic. With that, it throws its sword over its shoulder and starts walking away. It shouts that it will finish him next time, but then it stops dead. It mumbles, "What is this? Who the hell are you?" The questions keep coming. Is this your sacrifice? Why is this happening? What? Is that a special dark art skill? The monster is totally losing its cool. Chu Josi's voice rings out from the void. "Hey, thanks for coming close enough for me to actually hit you. I just copied that sacrifice skill you mentioned using my absolute copy ability. Pretty neat, right?" Chu Josi reappears looking like a total boss, covered in heavy armor. He tells the beast that a solid body is where the real power comes from. System says, sacrifice burns half your health to wipe all debuffs. You hit peak power, boost your best skills to the max, and undergo a full physical transformation. Chu Josi declares, "I can handle this now. I am going to tear you apart with my bare hands." Notifications flood in. Superhuman body unlocked. Sacrifice aura active. Strength is tripled, but the pressure on his physical body is absolutely insane right now. Status check. Level 6 Fox Tribe Warrior. Weapon is trashed. Skills. Heaven's Thunder and Sacrifice copy. Everything is ready for a showdown. Experience 12,400. Combat power 8,800. The area turns deep red as Chu Josi stands ready with blood-red eyes. System reminder, 60 seconds left. Strength is tripled, but the physical strain is reaching its limit. Experience stands at 12,400 with a combat power of 8,800. The monster is stunned. How can a human use dark skills? Chu Josi just shrugs and says it is as easy as breathing for him. System reveals his special trait. He can copy any skill regardless of race or level. He is basically a walking cheat code. Power depends on the user's combat strength. The ground starts splitting open and rocks float up. The monster can only stand there and wait. Only then does it realize Chu Josi is already moving. It mutters about the insane speed, but by the time it sees him, it is already over. He lands a flurry of bare-handed strikes on the beast. Then, he puts everything into one final air-piercing thrust directly into its chest. Chu Josi keeps the pressure on with his fists until the thing finally collapses. The monster stumbles back up, admitting that the kid is actually strong. System warning. Your weapon is severely damaged. The monster mumbles that even with a copied sacrifice, he can only use raw, physical strength. System info. Weapons and armor break under certain conditions. Once durability hits 0, they are basically trash. Chu Josi is panting, health down to 1/4. He says he does not care how it happens. He just has to win before time runs out. Sacrifice does not allow for healing. This is my only shot. The system notes that while sacrifice is active, the risk is massive. Current health cannot be restored by any method right now. Huge power always comes with a lethal price tag. You are on your own. The beast swings its sword and laughs. Beat me? You forgot one thing. It triggers dark magic, red lightning striking the earth as it growls. I can use sacrifice too. After the sacrifice, the monster enters a state of absolute blind rage. Its body swells and eyes glow red as it screams. Yours is just a cheap copy. System says, sacrifice half your HP for 60 seconds of max power. Sacrifice complete. The beast lunges. Josi raises his hands, calls down the thunder, and yells, "Think I'd forget? I remember exactly how you used that weapon to deflect my strikes, too." Realization hits the beast. It looks at its discarded blade. Did he trick me into dropping it? Josi raises a spiked hand, eyes glowing red. He says, I was just forcing you to burn half your HP. The monster freezes in shock, its mind spiraling with a million conflicting thoughts. How is this possible? Just a clone? A mere human? How does he have this much power? Josi flashes forward in an instant, whispering coldly, "You're unarmed now. Let's see how long you can actually survive against this next strike. Blurring with speed, Josi closes the gap and drives his hand straight through the beast's chest. He says, once you sacrificed half your life force, this superhuman body became my ultimate weapon. After that hit, the monster's health bar drops to 0. It stammers one last time before collapsing. How can a human do this? Its eyes stay locked on Josi until the end. He calmly replies, I will show you who the real idiot is here. Fight over. Josi retracts his armor and breathes. System alert. You have defeated the Dark Forest Sweeper and successfully cleared the zone. Reset attempts remaining. 2. The sacrifice effect has officially ended. Josi clutches his shaking, exhausted body. Every inch of him feels like it's being ripped apart from the inside. Sacrifice is powerful, but combined with this superhuman form, the pressure is insane. He's about to leave when another alert pops up. You received the Dark Forest Overlord's weapon, Josi mutters. No way. The boss actually drops some legendary gear. He limps to the corpse and grabs the loot. Perfect timing, since he needed a replacement. The system displays the stats for the new weapon. Red Mist Blade, once used by the Forest Wanderer. This blade is unnaturally sharp and causes wounds that refuse to heal. Passive effect. Bleed. Subskill. Blood Ritual. After reading the stats, Josi cheers. This is freaking awesome. If I use this blood ritual right, I'll be unstoppable. More alerts flash. Resetting costs 1 challenge attempt to re-enter the Dark Zone. Or, you can leave now with 2 attempts left. Continuing grants a 50% experience boost. Josi stares at that last line. 50% bonus XP? Can't pass that up. He hits the reset button immediately. Instantly, the system announces Josi hit level 7. Warrior class, equipped with the Fox Beastman set. Weapon destroyed. Skills, Heaven's Thunder and Sacrifice, copy, combat power, 10. XP, 3400. He looks at his hands and curses under his breath. Sacrifice is a heavy price. Self-damage doesn't just vanish. I thought my stats would improve my condition, but it's just a burden. Even with the level up easing the pain, the superhuman strain is still killing me. Dark skills drain too much. Should I pull out and rest? Another round means using sacrifice against the boss again. My body might not handle the stress. Plus, Sakura warned me. Going into round 2 without restocking items is basically a suicide mission. But thinking of my plan to hit level 12 in a week, I hesitate. I need those levels to survive. I can't walk away from this bonus XP. Josi smirks at himself. To get stronger, you've got to make some sacrifices. Once you pick this path, there is no turning back. Hesitation just leads to failure. The system pings. You chose to continue. Please return to the entrance. Stepping back in, he mutters, sorry for making you wait, Tola. Outside, President Dak and Sakura are still waiting around, wondering why Josi hasn't appeared yet. Sakura paces back and forth, freaking out. They both think it's been way too long. He should have been out by now. The president tries to chill. Don't worry, maybe he's just grinding for extra XP. Even so, the old man is sweating bullets. He figures if Josi lost, he'd be kicked out, but trying again without any supplies? That's just asking for a straight-up death sentence, especially in the Dark Zone. Sakura frets. But Master promised he'd come out after round 1. Yet, I can still hear the thunder. Right then, Eyes strolls back with a cup of tea. Took a nap and he's still not done? Seriously? Round 1 is over and nobody's been booted. Maybe he's just hiding and shaking somewhere. Dak snaps at Eyes to watch his mouth. Eyes laughs. President Dak, you really think he can solo a mid-level Dark Zone? Putting your hope in him is just a recipe for disappointment. He keeps going. Like I said, the kid is all talk. If he actually cleared round 1, he would have been out ages ago. The fact he hasn't appeared means he's trying again without enough potions. This won't end well for him. Sakura turns cold. Master will return safely. Shut it. I can still hear the thunder, which proves he's still in the fight. Silence follows. She's incredibly determined. Eyes lets out a mocking laugh. So what if there's thunder? If he fails, it's on you for gassing him up too much. Sakura glares intensely. If you say one more word, her face shifts, and both the president and VP feel the murderous intent rising from her. Dak slams his cane on the floor. Quiet, both of you! Nobody speaks until he walks out. Eyes, leave now. Eyes walks off but keeps muttering garbage under his breath. Look, I am just spitting facts here. Get ready to face reality. I want to see your faces when his old, broken body gets tossed out. The guildmaster barked, Bitch, get out right now. He thought to himself that a soft life had blinded the man to the danger creeping up on him. This demi-human girl has some crazy potential. Suddenly, Saola froze up. Dak asked her, Hey, what is wrong? Her eyes went wide with panic. Master's thunder had stopped, she whispered. Eozit nearby just sneered. See? The thunder is gone. Give up on hope already. Some random human taking on the dark zone alone? Pure comedy. Suddenly, a massive noise from the heart chamber made everyone spin around. The Emperor asked, what on earth was that sound? Then, cracks started spreading all over the heart chamber door. Tricolala yelled, I know this feeling. Get your staffs ready. Is the darkness breaking the seal? No way. He frowned, bracing himself. The seal is actually breaking. Eosit dropped his tea in a panic. Impossible. The dark zone cannot just break its own seal. Sekula felt that familiar energy and screamed, Wait! Chu Josi stumbled out, looking absolutely trashed. He called to Tora, Sorry for making you wait, kid. I finished 3 whole runs and bagged some extra experience points. I jumped 3 levels. He forced a smile. I am level 9 now. As soon as he spoke, he collapsed. Tikura caught him, yelling for her master. Dak and Eosit were stunned. 3 times? 3 levels up? How much hidden power does this guy actually have? Dak barked an order to heal him immediately. Chu Josi passed out cold in Sakura's arms. The system popped up, level 9, Fox Tribe Warrior, weapon, blood-soaked mist, skills, heavenly thunderbolt and sacrificial mimicry. Combat power, 14,500. They rushed him to the medbay. Guildmaster Dak and Vice Master Bitch started casting heals together. They whispered while working, saying his muscles and nerves were shredded. It is a straight-up miracle he is even breathing right now. When he finally woke up, Chu Josi looked way better. He moved his hands and thanked them for the fix. I feel good, he said. Saola pouted, roasting her master for being reckless and breaking promises. Chu Josi rubbed her head. Sorry, I will be careful. But that experience gain? Too tempting. I hit level 9 and scored a huge reward this time. You know I am always hungry for that sweet experience. Sekula snapped back. Your safety comes first. Stop lying to me. The guildmaster leaned on his staff and spoke up. You said you finished 3 runs, right? Chu Josi nodded. Dak and Eosit just stared at each other in total silence after that answer. The guildmaster sighed. If I didn't see it myself, I would never believe one guy cleared the dark zone 3 times straight. Inside, he was shook. That kid's aura was heavier than the darkness itself. He almost thought the shadows had breached the barrier. This guy's power is off the charts in both healing and combat. If Kevin is a genius, then this kid is on a whole different planet. Eosit stood there frozen for a second, then cleared his throat a few times before he finally found his voice. I am truly sorry for what I said before. Please forgive me for underestimating what a human is capable of. Sakura kept her chin high. She didn't even bother looking at him, just tossed out, Oh, so you finally get it now? You actually helped patch me up, so don't even sweat it, okay? Chu Josi just waved it off from his bed with a light laugh, explaining that the reflection skill he used was basically a boss-level heal. Eosit added that they did their best, but the deep tissue damage was still there. The guy was still in a really sketchy state. Right then, the system description flashed. Reflection is a mid-tier recovery technique. It can fix various types of physical trauma to an extent and is a pretty common tool for most serious adventurers. Outside, the guildmaster kept breaking down Chu Josi's condition. His body was a wreck, full of internal bleeding and widespread nerve damage. If they had waited even a minute longer to start the treatment, he would have been a goner for sure. He figured the kid used some forbidden magic. He warned him to stop because the backlash could ruin his future leveling potential. Hearing that, Chu Josi totally panicked. He blurted out that all he ever wanted was to reach a higher level. He started thinking it over and realized that the sacrificial power was starting to mess with his head. The urge to fight was drowning everything else out. He was losing himself. That thought scared the absolute life out of him. Suddenly, a vision of those creepy eyes he saw in his subconscious flashed right in front of him. Chu Josi flinched, wondering if that was actually the same set of eyes. He stared wide-eyed, his breathing getting heavy and fast. Noticing something was off, Tora immediately asked if he was okay. Chu Josi wiped his forehead and lied, saying he was just tired. But deep down, he knew the dark sacrifice skill wasn't just wrecking his body, it was eating his soul. He had to stop. Guildmaster Dak handed him a big bag of meds and told him to take one every single day. He told him that resting after taking the dose would help his body soak up the medicine properly. Eosit saw the bag and lost it. He yelled that it was a special grade medicine and asked if the boss was serious. Chu Josi happily grabbed the meds and gave them a sincere thanks for everything. Sakura's over there getting all nosy about the meds. The guildmaster breaks it down, saying it's Kevin's favorite stuff and it works wonders for getting back on your feet. He tells Chu Josi he should go see the guy face to face. Show some real spark, and Kevin might take you under his wing to teach you those top-tier medical secrets. Kevin is one of the rare legends rocking the wind-slaying law. Sala practically chokes, fists clenching, as she demands to know which number he's actually holding. Chu Josi is totally lost, wondering what the big deal is with these laws. Eosit narrows his eyes. thinking it's pretty sus that an adventurer like Chu Josi doesn't know the basics. He explains that the world is run by laws that control nature's mana. Magic built on these is straight up terrifying, known as the forbidden wind-slaying curses. For Mage, making potions stronger is the goal, but these laws are brutal. They basically have a mind of their own. 12 laws are hidden out in the wild. You need the right training just to get close to them. The wind-slaying memorial is the relic that keeps this power alive, passing it down to the most elite mages. The original laws go way back to ancient times and carry enough juice to wipe out everything. Kevin is a straight-up prodigy for mastering the 12th law, the law of the great wind. 10 years ago, his magic hit the ceiling. It's perfect for cooking up meds, boosting their kick, and even blending in the power of the laws. With Kevin's skills, those deep internal injuries Chu Josi has might actually heal. Chu Yosi's hyped, double-checking if he heard that right. Saula's eyes go wide, praying that her master's body can finally make a total comeback. The boss hands over a recommendation letter. It's not the perfect time to meet Kevin, but with this note, you're getting in for sure. Chu Josi bows his thanks, and the master adds a tip. Bring some rare loot and high-end medical supplies as a bribe. Once they're recovered, Chu Josi and Sakura ditch the guild to start their next mission. The boss and his second-in-command walk them right to the door. As Chu Josi fades into the distance, Ellis asks if that kid actually caught the chairman's interest. Elizet points out that the gift was a Type B blood potion, something they traded Kevin a ton of rare materials for. The boss just smirks. He wants to see how far this human kid can push it. Supporting him is just an investment in the future. Elis frowns, calling it a high-stakes gamble. Not many geniuses can survive the dark zone alone, and a human? That's even more unlikely. The boss is still confident. He says it's rare, but history has seen it before. Now Eos is curious, asking about those crazy legends. He starts the tale from 1,000 years ago, when a legendary being gave birth to the beastkin race. That was Gassiet, the ancient god king. Cut to Chu Josi and Sala hacking their way through thick forest bushes. He asks if Sakura knows where Kevin lives. She's following behind, saying the chairman gave her the full rundown on the location. It's a long haul, but they can grind some levels on the way since this path lines up perfectly with what they're hunting. There's still one catch, though. Chu Josi looks back, wondering what kind of condition she's talking about. As they keep moving, Saora explains that to finish this mission, her master is going to need a party. A huge crowd is hanging out in the forest ahead. Chu Yosi's shocked, asking why everyone's huddled up like that. Secula explains it's a quest hub. Adventurers swarm here to grab limited-time missions before they vanish or move to a new spot. The system pop-up explains everything. Quest hubs feature random tasks on a timer. They usually limit how many people can join, but offer some insane rewards. Chu Josi is totally hyped. He cracks his knuckles, saying it's like a quest counter, and tells her they should give it a shot. System stats show Chu Josi at level 9. Class, Warrior, Gear, Fox, Man Armor and a Damage, Absorbing Mist Shield. Skills, Heavenly Thunder and Sacrifice. Copy. Combat Power, 14,500. Chu Josi is pumped because the dungeons here are way more intense. He's already thinking about testing his main skills in there. Chu Josi steps up and tells her he's heading in first. Sura shouts from behind, telling him to stay sharp while she waits back here. Up ahead, a guy is shouting for teammates. He's looking for a level 15 warrior or saint with a power level over 6,000. The leader's name is Vo, and most of his crew is already level 15. He's promising fair loot splits once they get a full squad. The crowd starts whispering. JF mentions that this group has been waiting around for 2 days straight. The loot looks sweet, but this mission is basically a suicide run. Venkus adds that finding level 15 players with 6,000 combat power is rare, but the captain is stubborn as hell. Yugi, part of Team V, begs the captain to reconsider since they have wasted 2 days waiting around for someone to join the party. It is not worth blowing their entire shot at this quest hub. Victor snaps back, reminding them that the pricey intel from the tavern says this level 12 quest is the only way to get blood roses. This loot is worth 500 silver and he will not settle for less. The system notes that blood roses are a very rare medical ingredient. Adding them to potions massively boosts the healing power. That is why mages and alchemists always hunt for them at high prices. Yui sighs, saying maybe someone will join next time since they cannot leave without a full team. Right then, Chu Josi walks up with a friendly grin and gives a casual wave. He asks to join as a warrior. Even though his level is low, the kid is super confident in his own skills. Seeing a volunteer walk up, the eyes of every member in Team 5 light up with a sudden burst of hope. Victor rushes over, calling Chu Josi their savior, assuming he is level 14, or maybe even level 13, which they would still totally accept. If he is level 12, they can carry him. Chu Josi scratches his head awkwardly, admitting he is only level 9 but down to tank. Hearing that, Victor's face turns dark and moody immediately. He lunges forward to scream, but his team holds him back. He cannot believe a level 9 warrior has the balls to act that confident. Meanwhile, Chu Josi stays chill, insisting he is dead serious. Just then, the quest gate announces only 10 minutes until it closes for the day. Yugi grabs Victor, reminding him that if they miss this golden opportunity right now, they will waste another whole day. The captain needs to make a call, and he needs to make it fast. Another guy in the back suggests taking the level 9 warrior because the most important thing is just having a full party. Tagu agrees, saying if they keep waiting, they will never make back the money they spent on that expensive intel. Facing all the pressure, Victor finally caves and agrees to a deal. Admitting they are out of options, he yells at Chu Josi that he will give him one single chance. But inside the quest, you follow my orders exactly, because the four of them are the real pros, while he is just a warm body. Chu Josi claps Victor on the shoulder, saying he is stoked to join his first party, forcing the captain to give a half-hearted wave back. Joining a real team has Josi feeling totally hyped. He takes the lead and starts shouting for everyone to move up, leaving Victor's crew shocked that this is his first time. As the squad reaches the quest gate, the system announces that the level 16 mission has officially begun for them. Entering the woods, they run into a level 16 forest rhino with 7,600 combat power and a massive body. It hates intruders and is super tanky against physical attacks. One teammate screams in terror that this is actually a level 16 quest, not level 12. Victor grinds his teeth, cursing the guy who sold them fake info. Yugi panics in the back, worrying they will not survive this difficulty, especially since the very first enemy is already this terrifying. Victor quickly orders everyone to stay low, and whispers that they are level 15 pros who have cleared many hard quests before. If they just work together like usual, they will win. If things go south, they will have to use a return bone to bail. The system notes that return bones are crazy expensive items that, when used, allow the player to escape from a mission instantly. However, they do not work in special quests, and usually only show up at auctions because they are so incredibly rare. Suddenly, Victor remembers something and looks up to ask, "Wait a minute, we forgot about that level 9 kid. Where exactly did he go?" When Victor asks, Takolu realizes that by the time he arrived, the kid was already there and busy. Suddenly, a blinding flash of light explodes from the bushes right up ahead, mixed with sparks of electricity crackling everywhere. Victor's crew just stares, totally paralyzed. On the other side of the clearing, Chu Josi has already finished off the rhino. He takes a deep breath and laughs, saying, "Man, this feels so good. Way easier than those mobs back in the dark zone." Watching this unfold, Victor's group yells in total shock. Did he seriously just take that monster down all by himself? Shouldering his sword, Chu Josi gives a thumbs up and tells them to keep up, saying he is used to speedrunning lately and cannot wait to grab the rewards at the end. System stats. Level 9 Earth Warrior in Fox Beast armor with bloodthirsty weapons, owning Thunderstrike skills and Sacrifice Mimicry, combat power hits 14,500. Right then, the level 16 quest continues deep in the woods. After seeing Chu Josi's power, Victor's squad starts working together way more smoothly than before. Victor yells out a warning. "There is still another one behind that tree. That one over there is weak. Finish it off right now." Level 15 Wind Archer Thu draws back her bow, totally blown away. She is wondering if this level 9 kid actually pulled off this entire mission all by himself. That is seriously insane. The whole squad is buzzing. They are saying he just charged in and wiped every single mob. Meanwhile, Chu Jose is out front leading the pack and clearing the way. He is just deleting everything in his path. One guy says he knows every monster's weak point. Seriously, how is he doing this while only being at level 9? Level 15 Priest now adds that the guy does not even need healing. He makes this whole fight look like a walk in the park. Level 15 Rogue Yugi is just hanging off a tree branch, hiding in the shadows with 620 power. He asks the captain if they are boys. Like, who is this guy? With skills like that, he has got to be famous in the community, right? Victor, a level 15 mage with 6,300 power, says he knows a ton of people and cannot keep track of them all. Maybe some broker at the pub mentioned him before. He looks like a top-tier guild elite, but for some reason, the name is just not clicking yet. Up ahead, Chu Jose is still going ham, wrecking every monster in his path. He is thinking this mission is a joke compared to the Black Realm. Sure, the experience is okay, but it is nothing special. These level 16 mobs are weaker than level 11 ones back there, not even half as tough. Chu Jose spots a tree monster and uses his special eye to scan for info immediately. Its fatal weakness is fire, but watch out for those poisonous spiked vines it uses to whip people. Chu Jose slides around the vines like a pro. He thinks as long as he stays sharp, those poison spikes are basically nothing. His blue eye found the weak spot, but he is wondering if there is an even better way to totally crush this thing. The quest wants some blood roses. He wonders if he should grab a few as a weird souvenir for Kevin. Chu Josi swings his blade and shreds those incoming vines into pieces. The system says blood roses are super rare herbs that boost healing like crazy. Alchemists pay a fortune for this stuff, so the market price is sky high. Chu Josi yells back to the squad that the boss is coming and more mobs are swarming. They are terrified of fire, so mages start blasting them with flame spells. Victor shouts, "All right, let's do this." Deep down, he is thinking it is finally his turn to show everyone what he can do. Chu Josi reminds everyone to watch out for those poison spikes. One scratch and you are going down. The tree monster closes in with its toxic vines. Victor and the crew have to lock in and stay on high alert. Victor is confused. How does a level 9 kid know so much? This kind of experience is wild. He is definitely hiding his true power. Shaking it off, the team gets in sync and unleashes a massive sea of fire to torch all the tree monsters around them. Night falls and they light a fire to stay warm. Yugi, Nao, and Takalu are just chilling around the flames. Takolu says things are going great because that warrior is a beast. Yugi teases him, asking if he is calling the kid Sir Warrior now. Nao stares at the fire with blushing cheeks. She whispers that he is different from everyone else. He must have a very special background. Over in the corner, Victor and Chu Josi finally shake hands and introduce themselves properly. Victor says he knows talent when he sees it and wants the real story. Chu Josi just laughs and says he is just a rookie. Victor laughs and says, "A rookie? Sure, let's go with that." But Chu Josi keeps insisting he is telling the dead honest truth. He hands Chu Josi some water and casually asks if he knows how the mission rankings work in these different areas. Chu Josi takes a sip and says he has no clue. Victor just rolls his eyes and tells him to stop acting like a dummy. Victor explains that every region has fixed mission points and a leaderboard that tracks how well every single team is actually performing. It tracks the first clear and the best performance. It does not just give rewards, it makes your name famous across every guild branch. Chu Josi gets the gist of it, but still asks what Victor is actually getting at with all this talk. He is thinking to himself that his old world had a similar system. Turns out this place is not that different after all. Victor crosses his arms and brags that they are not just some random group. They are actually the elite level 15 vanguard for the Great Goat Guild, led by Harvey. Chu Josi still does not see the point and asks him to just get to the bottom line already. Victor clears his throat and says a tough level 18 swamp mission from the Black Realm just appeared. Nobody understands the monsters, so he wants Josi to be their key. Hearing about Black Realm monsters, Chu Josi gets hyped. He pumps his fist and asks if the payout is going to be massive. Victor nods. If they win, they get the first clear record and the highest score. The rewards are huge, so everyone is fighting for it. If you are interested, you should come and talk to our team captain. Chu Josi thinks it is a good way to kill time while waiting for upgrade items. He asks if a level 9 can even join a level 18 mission. Victor waves him off and says not to sweat it. The mission has different tiers, but this one is strictly for level 18 adventurers. Chu Josi agrees, but says he has 2 conditions. Victor tells him as long as they are fair, he will make it happen and pay extra. Victor figured if he joined and shared info on those shadow monsters, the squad would snag that first record. It was the perfect play to level up their guild status. Chu Josi laid out his terms for when they finished the job. Hand over every single drop of base experience to me. Plus, I get first dibs on the loot. You guys can split whatever's left over. Victor's jaw dropped. He actually started stuttering, saying, "That is totally insane. Look, even if I'm down, the captain and the rest won't just say yes. We have to ask." Victor headed back to the squad and told them to put it on ice until the mission was done. Enough resting, let's move out. The whole team immediately hit the trail again. Everyone just stood there watching while Chu Josi finished the job. Yugi admitted the captain's fire spin move was pretty sick. Now gripped his staff, noting the boss was weak to fire. No wonder it went smooth. Victor dialed in his fire magic, torching the vines. Once that tree monster was toast, Victor admitted it was all Chu Josi. It took 10 seconds just to lock that weak spot. You called every play and kept the team safe. Seriously, you were total fire out there. When the loot dropped, Chu Josi grabbed the blood rose and said he was good. The rest of them could split the remaining gear. Victor pulled the crew together to say goodbye, promising to split the loot later. The other 3 thanked him. After the others split, Victor asked Chu Josi if he was free. He wanted to thank Captain Javi and introduce him to the squad. Chu Josi told him to hold on so he could tell the crew. He met Sakura, who wiped his face and said getting invited that fast was impressive. She didn't get that chance until level 30. Sakura said everything looked solid for now. She told him to stay safe because this was going to be one hell of a ride. She was going to scout the nearby town for intel and report back. Chu Josi just grinned, telling her if he wasn't around, just wait at the local guild hall. Sakura handed him a bag with some potions and enough cash for 3 days, just to be safe. Chu Josi grabbed the gear and hit the road. He even turned back to wave one last thank you. Sakura wished him a safe trip and watched him disappear into the distance. Suddenly, her face went totally cold and serious. She needed to dig deeper into this Kevin genius if he really mastered wind and earth fusion. The plan to take him out definitely needed an update. Cut to a guy lifting a beer. He barked out, "A level 9 warrior with 2 conditions? Victor, are you for real right now?" That was Captain Havi, a level 18 hero with a shield and a massive combat power of 7,600. He glared at them and snapped, "Some level 9 kid wants to lead an elite level 16 squad? Give me a break." Victor rushed to explain that the guy was actually a beast. Without him, there was no way they would have snagged that blood rose so easily. A guy in red armor stood nearby, beer in hand. He sneered, saying a level 9 wasn't even worthy of breathing the same air as them. This was Luke, a guy known for his trash talk. He was the level 17 vice captain with dual swords and 6,930 power. He kept laughing. "Did hanging out with those losers rot your brain? Can't keep up with the big horn squad anymore, Victor? Stop wasting our time." Even with everyone in the room laughing at him, Victor still tried to make them listen. "I'm dead serious. If you don't believe me, just meet him." Havai looked up and asked, "Is he here?" Seeing his chance, Victor quickly said, "Yeah, I brought him. He's waiting right outside." Luke just smirked. "You're actually naive enough to bring that kid here?" After getting mocked nonstop, Victor's face went red. He finally snapped and yelled, "That's enough." Inside, he was fuming. This time, he was going to make them eat their words. Seeing how sure Victor was, Javi finally gave in. "Fine, I'll see him." Victor bowed his thanks and rushed outside. He grabbed Chu Josi, leading him back in with a hand on his shoulder to show the way. Walking into the crowded room, Chu Josi looked a bit shy. He rubbed his head and said, "Hey, I'm Chu Josi, a level 9 warrior. It's an honor to meet you all." Every eye in the place locked on to him. Luke immediately pointed and started laughing, mocking how weak and pathetic the kid looked. Victor patted his shoulder to calm him down. "Just speak up, Chu." Captain Havi took a sniff of his beer and spoke up. "According to Victor, you're the reason we finished that new mission, right? If that's true, how confident are you really?" Chu Josi didn't blink. 100%. But I've got one condition." 100%? Havi asked. "So what's the deal?" Chu Josi just pointed at himself and said calmly, "I want to be your captain." The whole room went dead silent. Havi just stared, his eyes wide with total shock. "You really think you're going to lead this elite squad?" Luke slammed his fist down, screaming, "Are you insane? This is Captain Havi's crew. Don't make a fool of yourself." Victor leaned in and whispered to Chu Josi, "You as the leader? That's just crazy talk." Chu Josi just glanced over and whispered back, "It's part of the mission. Don't sweat it." Javi set his beer down and said, "Plenty of teams have failed right here. We've already tanked this 6 times and blown through a mountain of resources. We've lost 2 gold in total." Chu Josi replied, "If it's about the money, I'll cover it. Just give me command and the job gets done." Luke's face turned bright red as he screamed, "You really have the nerve to say that?" Another teammate joined in the shouting, "Cap, teach this punk a lesson." But Javi turned around and surprisingly gave the green light. "Fine. I accept your terms," he said. He raised his mug and gave a cold warning. "If you fail or lie to us, I, Javi, won't let you off easy." Luke was stunned and asked if he was serious. Chu Josi just stayed chill, saying that if they worked together, the mission would be cake. Luke pointed right at the leader. "You really trust this guy? What can a weak level 9 scrub even do?" Javi stayed cool. "Do we even have another choice? Even without him, we'd still have to try." Luke wouldn't budge. Letting him lead is just insane. "This is a total scam. The Big Eye team is desperate, and even Victor got played. This kid doesn't fit. Just kick him out." Javi gave Luke a dead serious look. "Do you have any idea how much the guild has been mocking us lately? Our stats are trash, and every other squad is lapping us. If we crush this mission, we finally get our street cred back. We are out of options. Even if it's just a tiny sliver of hope, we have to grab it." Javi balled his fists at Chu Josi. "If this is a prank, you're dead." Cut to the mission site, where other squads were already gathered. Seeing Big Eye show up, the crowd started trash talking. "Is that them? Another mission? Bet they failed just like every other time." "Wait, Javi isn't the one leading," they whispered as they watched Chu Josi walk in front. "Who the heck is that guy?" Anubis crossed his arms and laughed at his fit. "Is that the Big Eye crew? Did you guys actually get a new captain? All show and no go. You're gonna end up broke, so maybe spend your cash more wisely." Victor leaned in and whispered to Chu Josi, "That captain always targets us, but he's not wrong. Our losing streak has left us completely drained and totally broke. The boss and the whole crew are under massive pressure. The vibe in this group is beyond tense right now." After hearing Victor's explanation, Chu Josi just gave a simple nod. "Yeah, I get the picture." Chu Josi walked up and slapped Anubis on the shoulder, startling him. My bad for blocking the way. Anubis sneered. Javi, your new captain sure is cocky. He shouted so everyone could hear. I wonder if you'll still be acting this arrogant when you come back after another fail. Chu Josi just looked back with a smirk. Want the results? Just watch. The quest gate appeared, and Chu Josi spoke up. All right, squad, let's move. Chu Josi calculated his plan. The marsh had dangerous monsters, but with his divine eye skill, it wouldn't be an issue at all. He was confident the team would crush expectations as they stepped through the teleportation portal. System notification. Welcome to the Dark Quest in the Swamp region. Level 18 Dark Swamp requires a group of 12 to 17 players, max level 18 allowed. The squad began to move. Javi walked behind him and asked for the plan. Chu Josi put his hands on his hips. I've got it covered. He then opened his system to confirm. I'm taking all the experience points. That the deal? Javi nodded. Our reputation matters way more than some XP. As long as we actually clear this first quest, it's fine. Just don't let us down, kid. We're desperate for a win. Putting you in charge is on me, but if you blow this, you'd better be ready for the consequences. Chu Josi looked at the confirmed screen and said, Got it. Javi turned to the squad. Gear up and follow Chu's orders, everyone. He gave a short reply. Luke was still annoyed, his mind filled with doubt about the whole thing. Can't believe we're letting him leech all the experience. Whatever. Chu Josi watched his screen, deciding it was time to activate that hard mode Victor mentioned. The system explained. Every quest has two settings, normal and hard mode. In hard mode, all rewards and the difficulty are tripled, including the experience points. Seeing the triple rewards, Chu Josi smirked. He figured with this much XP, he'd jump up at least 1 or 2 levels. The system notified the whole team that Chu Josi had triggered hard mode. Everyone stood there, completely stunned by the choice. Javi turned around, panicking. Hard mode? Seriously? The crew started buzzing. Why would you even do that? Did you mess up? Hard mode is basically suicide. Victor ran over, looking terrified. Are you playing us? I told you hard mode is only for people who've mastered the quest. You clicked the wrong thing, right? Luke took the chance to talk trash. You idiot. No one even clears normal mode, and hard is way worse. You trying to kill us? This is a total setup. When we get out of here, we're going to be the laughingstock of the guild. Luke turned away, grinning. He finally had an excuse to kick the kid out. He sneered, what a moron. Good thing I actually brought a retreat horn. Because of this guy, we have to waste a rare item to escape. Let's get out of here. We got scammed. Chu Josi stepped up with a cold glare. If I brought you in here, I'm going to get you out safely too. Follow me. Deep down, he knew hard mode wasn't going to be a problem. With my divine eye and this massive squad, we are going to finish this mission without anyone getting a single scratch. Luke yells, You really think we can clear this after failing on normal? Stop the capping. You played us, man. This ain't a game, and if you want to die, go do it alone. After popping the divine eye, Josi figures it out. Just like he thought the swamp's dampness makes these monsters super weak against lightning, Josi cranks up the divine eye, and all the monster intel floods in instantly. Level 18, Fang Crocs. Water type. Weak against lightning and fire. Their thick hides and high defense mean normal attacks won't do much damage. When they swarm in a pack, their coordinated strikes hit like a freight train. Analysis says fire or lightning works best. Using the water's conductivity gives a huge edge. A lightning strike will definitely shock them. Divine Eye locks in the perfect strategy. Josi realizes if he concentrates harder, he can boost the eye's power even more. Seeing Josi charge the pack, Luke totally freaks out. Hey, you moron! Those are hard mode crocs, and there are tons of them. We are in deep trouble now. Javi is holding her shield, but her confidence is shaking. She mutters, Is this guy actually just playing us? Seeing Javi's crew trembling, Chu Josi shoots them a look. He's dead set on leading them through this nightmare run. Josi enters his combat stance, draws his blade, and barks out orders. Fire mages, get ready. Victor knows there is no turning back now. He grips his staff tight. Screw it. Fine. Let's move. I am with you. Victor commands his fire mages to stay close. If we bail now, we will be a laughingstock. The royal mages hear the order and charge in together. One guy yells, Let's get it. Victor growls that he is done being treated like a joke. Meanwhile, Josi is already head-to-head with the crocs. Harry sees the madness and screams, Kid, move. 6 at once is too much. You are going to get crushed. Zero hesitation. Josi swings his sparking sword, tagging a croc, then shouts to the fire mages, Drop your magic exactly 1 meter ahead of me. The fire squad shouts back in total sync. Josi mashes lightning and fire together to wreck the pack of swamp crocs while keeping them pinned with stun skills. A split second later, the whole pack is swallowed by flames, letting out some seriously nasty death rattles. Victor's jaw drops. 6 at once? How did that happen? In the blink of an eye, the entire pack was gone. Josi explains his strike, skill, debuffs enemies, and doubles the damage if they focus their magic on a single point. Like that, taking them down is a breeze. As the system confirms the Divine Eye scan is done, the crew is totally blown away by his fast analysis. They finally believe they might finish this. Victor cheers, saying Josi pulled it off again. He never doubted him for a single second. Javi watches him, thinking, how is a level 9 this cracked? Who is this guy? She still can't believe it. The old man flops down, whining that it was just dumb luck. Nobody analyzes that fast under this kind of pressure. Another member snaps back. That is why Josi is the GOAT. We all saw what happened. Victor stands tall and tells him to shut it. You are embarrassing yourself, he barks at the guy. He glares at Victor, stuttering. What did you just say? Josi cuts through the drama before it gets ugly. Stop. We are burning daylight. He calls for everyone to follow him into the hard mode zone. Havai grabs her shield and sprints after him, rallying the rest of the squad to move out. The team pushes forward, leaving the whiner behind. Havai and the crew vow to follow Captain Josi and crush this run. 30 minutes later, deep in the Shadow Swamp mission, they hit a marsh where the green water is bubbling like crazy. The crew hides while Josi scans the area. Victor whispers nervously, tons of squads failed right here. What is the move, Captain? The salty vice captain warns that these shadow monsters are on another level. If we fail, the Sun Goat team makes us pay. Victor shoots back, pointing out that Josi's intel has kept everyone breathing so far. That never happened before, so try being grateful instead of talking trash. The vice captain snaps back that he is still in charge and only looking out for the squad's interest. Javi sees the heat rising and tells everyone to pipe down so Josi can focus. With the Divine Eye, Chu Josi gets the results. There is no way around this nasty swamp. The only path is straight through, but someone has to bait the monsters so the rest of the team can move safely. Chu Josi clocks the situation. Honestly, this looks easier than he first thought. The system keeps feeding him stats. A 300-meter area, depths from 24 centimeters to 126, and an average of 86 decimeters. The optimal path is locked in depths under 40 centimeters. It is the fastest route and completely bypasses the most dangerous zones. Drawing a map on the ground with a dry branch, Chu Josi figures his God-Eye accuracy scales with his combat power. He starts plotting their move through the muck. System alert. 15 shadow creeps are patrolling the path. He has to lure them out to clear a way for the squad. Plus, with his cracked superhuman stats, trekking through the mud is a breeze. The plan is to use the swamp conductivity to fry those shadow monsters with a massive lightning strike. Chu Josi needs to juice up his legs, ditch the crew, and lead those monsters into the trap zone. During the fight, he will adjust the plan live, focusing every strike on their weak spots. Observation over. Chu Josi tells them he is just the temp lead. If you hate it, leave. He won't stop you. But right now, his eyes turn sharp. Everyone follows the captain's orders. The vice lead clenches his fist, but Javi instantly shuts him down. Javi tells him to stay mad until they finish. The guy just snarls, muttering about level 9 rookies. Chu Josi watches silently. The old him would have been totally rattled by this hostility. He gets it now. Some people just love bullying the weak or seeing others as threats. Only way out is getting stronger, and he is definitely not the old Chu Josi anymore. He stands up fast and announces they have to cross the swamp to reach the next area. Javi nods, mentioning the entrance, but warns about shadow monster ambushes. The risk of failing is massive. Chu Josi tells them it is dangerous, but he has a plan. Javi immediately wants the details. He suggests staying behind to lure the monsters away. While Javi leads the rest of the squad toward the next area, he will finish the job and catch up fast. Hearing the plan, Harry and Vitor are totally stunned. Vitor worries about the risk while Javi calls it reckless. The vice captain mocks the basic strategy. Anyone could think of that, he sneers. If Chu Josi dies, do not blame us. Chu Josi understands Vitor is worried, so he tells him to memorize the best path to avoid the danger zones. A shocked Vitor asks how he could possibly know that. He draws his sword. Leading them is just the start. He will wipe them out and catch up. No time to waste. He asks the squad if he has ever been truly reckless before. After hearing that, the team just shoulders their blades in silence. Chu Josi moves out, telling them to hold formation. He steps into the swamp, feeling the thick mud grip his boots. This terrain is brutal, but perfect for unleashing some serious lightning damage. The crew watches him go, stunned. The vice lead doubts it, but Javi respects his guts. Vor steps in, showing total faith. Rank doesn't matter as long as the plan works. Standing in the muck, Chu Josi scans the water. 15 enemies, right on schedule. This is enough to make anyone lose their cool. A monster suddenly lunges from the water, and Chu Josi uses his God Eye to scan it. It is a level 18 Dark Soul Eater, a shadow beast hiding in the mud. Weaknesses: lightning and piercing strikes. They are fast but fragile, specializing in ambush attacks. Chu Josi instantly slashes the monster. The system analysis adds that its body is soaked, making it highly resistant to fire but incredibly sensitive to lightning damage. Its body structure makes piercing hits absolutely lethal.